and their cautiousness cost them their life.
Nothing done by Big. They got a full buy and barely damage dealt. Crimbo trying to find that headshot. Halsrick not peeking him with that scout. I expected Crimbo to be blown away as well, but he's just going to tuck tail and he's going to try and save that AK. It's complexity on 3 and Big seeming helpless in this round without any ideas, especially after losing the first 2 players, sort of like they expected those guys to find something, and find them they did not.
German player saving next to the football, of course.
Nice. Fucking nice, Danny.
And the complexity are, of course, very happy with the situation. Let's not forget, though, it's not that doom and gloom for Big just yet. They've only kind of flubbed 1 full buy round, and that was off the back of a insane collat by Halsrick. You don't see those every day, not with the scout. One of those has to be a headshot, the other guy has to be low.
They're going to have that AK. That's all they're going to have, basically. 2 Tech 9s to use to hope maybe to open things up. The AK is going to do that, and Crimbo finding just a little bit more damage so JDC can finish off Halsrick. That's a man advantage for Big. So this could still be an active round. Don't forget, Dust 2 is one of those maps where a CT drops, and their defense is so much easier to penetrate.
Once there's a hole in the defense, sure, but you don't know that there's no players toward long or anything similar. You just kind of have to guess and pray that 3 of your swinging players can take care of their 1. Not always a guarantee. Grim does back off, lets them have space toward middle, as they've completely foregone the A site. As far as they're concerned now, it's a gamble stack. Whether they go B and we kill them, or they go A and we save. And Sixie, he knows where this is going. It's a B hit, but 2 players in top tunnels was not enough. Sixie with it all to do.
Oh, 1v2, let's see what he can find. Hype's head domed and looking for the other. Sixie with a good angle and catches QB down to 41. He wants more, he wants the entire catch. Can QB deliver? The answer is no. Sixie with the clutch, leaving Big with nothing.
Man, what a sexy clutch from Sixie. That was a very important set of kills. His teammates definitely should have done more in top tunnels, but you know what? They do indeed take those. And it's because of individual brilliances such as that Complexity finds themselves now up 2. I mean, up 4, obviously, but like 2 difficult rounds like that. Halsrick yet again opening things up on mid.
Yeah, faster than hyped. I thought that it was really hyped with the advantage. Just not quick enough. And again, a man advantage for the side of Complexity. Their logos are burning. That's just saying that they are off to a very good start. Back in the buy is Big. And Tapson picked up the op. He's a solid opper on his day. We'll see if he can prove himself. QB catches Sixie. That was a bit overzealous with the flash, but didn't help him. I assume QB played anti-flash in that position and manages to bring a frag back. Again, the defense under stress. JDC going deep. JT next to contact, not able to find the frag. And now, a lot of pressure piling on this CT side. Nix brings it back into a 3v3. But Big, they're taking it slow, and that might allow Grim some room. Oh, he's not expecting it. He's a dead man. No chance.
Bro just jumped over 2 enemies. That was quite something. He had the wrong mental image of what was going on. And now they're going to be aggressing toward the A site with Halsrick, who is definitely hot right now. 8 kills in 4 rounds, collects the 9th.
Yeah, no problem for Halsrick to hit that shot. Now once more against an op, hits the wall on get that. Sin again misses the shot through the box. Not going to happen. Bomb is planted.
2 centimeters above his head there.
Yeah, that was very close. Crimbo, does he expect such an angle? The answer is, well, good enough. as he gets dinked but finds the frag. And Halzerk, he's been fantastic so far. 1v2 clutch, not gonna happen. That's first on the board for Big.
Wir spielen nur Default. Das ganze Hälfte. Die machen nur Fehler, Alter.
New default, I think you said. They could be changing things up a little bit, maybe. Dust 2 being such a staple map, though, you don't want to mess with the formula. But, man, I'm liking the formula, the complexity are bringing either way. Like, Halzerk, he tried to drag them into that round kicking and screaming. It just didn't quite work out, and now Big are finally on the scoreboard.
One
Just a
thing I'm
question of whether they
questioning
can...
when it comes to complexity is what were the comms that made Grim just throw caution to the wind and,
Okay, look,
jump towards
No,
mid.
knowing American players, right? The comms were B B B B B. He's B. He's B. He's B. He's B. Or the standard joke. How do you call 3 people short? Ah, I'm lit. But you know how you call a good deal? Why, that's tickets that you can score for official Playground 1 CS, the live event in Belgrade. You have to type !ticket in chat, and you will see how you can join such an event. Get to see these players in real life. What are you waiting for? !ticket in chat.
Yeah, one thing to mention, it's been on Fisher's social media, I saw it multiple times. You're also going to get to meet the players, which is pretty nice. Catch a photo, catch a signature, why the hell not? A lot of people ask me is, are there going to be some giveaways? Not sure, but at least you can get an autograph, which is always a good thing to have. Something to remember the event by.
Time to bust out the old QCK heavy mouse pad that you're not using anymore.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
that one signed.
Yeah, just bring a big-ass mouse pad and get all the signatures you can. Who gets most signatures, I give you a skin. Deal? Deal. Grim? Ooh, he's gonna be under threat. That SMG is gonna fire away! Not gonna find anything. JDC ready.
A mountain shook, but a mouse was born. Over there on short. Halzerk still holding the angle. They know he's being cheeky. Oh, Halzerk! He's still got it. He missed the major, now he wants revenge. But they're still gonna be crossing from short. Hyped and QB successful on the entry.
Yeah,
That should
not
be the round.
the perfect positioning for complexity. Losing the important guns. Now they're just looking for exit frags, maybe a way to steal a gun or two. Back. Not gonna find anything other than that. They should even try and save what they got, at least pose a bit of a threat. The problem is, like, in comparison to maps like Nuke, Inferno, even Anubis to an extent, Dust 2 with pistols, sometimes it's very hard to find impact, though Nyx, well, it's pretty easy when your opponent turns his crosshair to the other side. Sixie also gonna find the kill. That's 2 guns salvaged. Not too bad for complexity in such a round.
Yeah, not too bad for Sixie, though. Like, he's also on 7 frags now after a measly 6 rounds. Him and Halzerk have been showing up early on here. But it's gonna take a lot more than that to get them the victory. Don't forget, Big are still the heavy favorites on this map. A small lead, that just gets you a head start.
Just trying to hear what Mither is saying. Completely
Mention
unable
phase.
to do it, though. Yeah.
Wants to go to phase, man. Neo's already there. He's not retired yet.
Of course, Big, with all the guns, all the util complexity, they're going to have those 2 AKs and the pistols that were transferred over to this round, so they can still pose sort of a threat. A multi-kill necessary if they want to surprise Big.
Einfach weiter normal Default alles auf dem Schirm haben und easy. Wir haben bis jetzt keine Incidenten gebraucht.
Gotta
The
love
problem
that
now
impassioned
is
speech there.
when Big is no longer in our national roster, you got to speak German to understand him. Makes things a bit more difficult.
Yeah, that makes it easier for us, you know. We're both in that diaspora. The Balkans. We definitely know a few people that went to work in Germany.
Understandable.
But complexity. Trying to work these Germans somehow. How are they going to be responding in this round? Grim is about to spot them on long. What's going to be their response?
Well, he has smoke to hold them off. Not going to hold them off for too long, but at least keep them at bay for a little bit. They're going to have to expect a player at car. It wouldn't have been smoked for another reason so deep. And Big pulling back. They want to adjust and do something differently. And it seems like complexity, that's what they were looking for, judging by where the rifles are situated. Big go towards B. It could still be a big threat for them. A big problem if those AKs start firing away.
They'll start firing away soon. Tapson making a lot of noise. And they're biting. Hook, line, and sinker. Staying on the A site while it's just Nix, who has to spray them all down, but he can't even get the first. QB on the entry. And this round is theirs. Big continue with the streak, as 4 in a row was broken with 3 in a row of their own. Tabson's even still alive. He didn't die on long. Just went back and chilled. He knows this is their map. They may be the lower ranked team, but the map pick definitely one that they are in their minds win 100% of the time. It's just obviously can't work out like that every time.
Yeah. Ooh, Tabson. You think he's alive? That might not be the case with so many CDs, or maybe just a multi-kill from Tabson. He was on nothing until this round, collected 3 easily, and even got himself out of danger. And Sixie, they know where he is. They want to take this AK out of his cold dead hands, and that will be the case. Not saving that for next round, and that means that the complexity buy, even though they went eco, is not going to be perfect. Around 4,000, maybe 4,300 per player. That's not enough for a perfect CT buy.
We'll see what they can scratch together. Yeah. A little gamble that didn't pay off, and they couldn't even salvage this AK at the end. Tragedy of a round, but this one should be a lot more exciting, of course, with it being a full buy and all. Heavy presence toward B, for the terrorists at least. They haven't made a peep yet. About to execute.
Yeah, the explosion comes in. Nix finds first blood, taps in on the tray. JT tucked in. They want to smoke things off, and then they can deal with the South African, but there goes a double from JT, and Grim comes to help. Only QB alive, but finding 2. They traded by Halzerk in the nick of time. And complexity back on that scoreboard.
Wir spielen weiter liefert, bitte. Ja. Das war perfekte Runde.
Finally breaking the streak and doing it with this kind of a play just puts it into a whole different context. Holding back such unbridled aggression. Hyped on the AWP now, of course. Going into lower tunnels are the big players. Halzerk. After you get one, you start running away. Just repositions. Throws out the smoke. Teammate behind him throwing from Molotov.
Oh!
What's going on? How did Halzerk hit that?
A triple from Halzerk, and QB the only one alive on Big. Not for long as Sixie annihilates him with that MP9. It was not the best buy for complexity as they
middle. Very ballsy push from Halzerk, who was feeling hot on 14 kills, but look at this push as well. 2 out of long, the fast flank, but it was being watched. Doesn't matter, it's still a trade, but QB, the difference maker, makes it a strong lead.
And now, very uncomfortable for Complexity to do anything in this round. They need the next kill, but the next kill goes to John De Castro. JT falls, Nick's good on the trade. Quick enough, but 27 points of health is just a matter of will he die or will he have a chance to save his gun. The bomb is going to get planted, a big will secure number 4 for themselves.
Yeah, they still have money, Complexity, so they don't necessarily need it, but on CT side, you can't really buy the AK. You do want to keep your hands on it. It's a big difference maker. Ooh, on the other hand, you can buy the AWP. It's just a lot more expensive, but not as expensive as getting a bullet to the head. That takes everything away from you. Tapson heard the footsteps and just swung out of short.
And Complexity, they wanted to be a bit more aggressive in this round, and aggression did get them the lead so far. For the most part, they really put the pedal to the metal, didn't really let Big have a lot of room on the map. Just piled the pressure on that T side. It cost them in the previous round with Halzer going so deep so early, his teammates going out of long and dying to QB. I understand what the idea was with the spacing being one player so far.
That's going to be JDC, who's going to be trying to swing it. Not happening, of course. No contacts yet.
Big using utility to push back the CTs, enable themselves to get some map control, and they both want to take short and long. Allocating many players to pushes that might not be so effective. Smoked across, though Halzerk moves and ready for QB. That's an extra man now for Complexity.
Very, very ballsy there from Halzerk to go in the open again, and now Grim's showing off here. He doesn't want Halzerk to get all the praise. But they've both been firing on all cylinders, hyped, trying to take back the round, but of course it's a little bit late. 8-4 the score as we conclude the first half.
Yeah, 8-4, a solid scoreline for Complexity. Looks quite good so far. I don't want to say it's a dominant scoreline, but it definitely sends a message to the team that picked this map. Big.
Yeah.
On the worst end of this result. Looking to do something more in the second half, but the pistol could be imperative for them if they want to make the comeback.
Very much do, especially if Complexity players are going to be firing off like this. There is like this concept where like you either play your A game, your B game, or your C game. Halzerk definitely busting out the A game sort of confidence. Not that that helps you much in the pistol round. Comes down to pure aim. Can they actually get it done? We will see shortly.
Halzerk was quite good yesterday against BetBoom. Train was the map where he shined most, and curious to see how this best of 3 is going to go for him. Judging by the beginning, it's looking quite good, and we will see Train. That'll be the second map of this best of 3. It's a qualification best of 3, ladies and gentlemen. The team that wins goes through. The team that loses will have another chance tomorrow against BetBoom to proceed to the quarterfinals. We're heading into the second pistol of Dust 2. Big now on the receiving end And they want to do it proactively. They want to take control of tunnels. Nick's caught with a nade in hand. They didn't expect that, and with him, they lost utility as well. What's the plan now for Complexity? Smoked off short, Big did, and now a lot of room, a lot of time for Big to rotate. They know that the hit could be coming towards A.
Oh, and it certainly is. Flashbangs out, and the firing gallery can commence, but the entries are true. JT and Sixie finding them. Hype's trying to return. Fire does the Kukli jump shot. We haven't seen one of those in ages. And Crimbo gets the final one, but there you go.
That was
Hyped.
insane. It looked like it was slipping away from them, but Hyped, yeah, no problem. He can do it in the air. He can do it anywhere, and also accidentally pressing mouse 2 just to style on them. That was beautiful.
Can we finally rename that move from Kukli to Hyped? Doesn't quite roll off the tongue.
No, but I'm hyped.
As am I. KQLY, of course, for those of you who don't know, a little history lesson during this eco round. He was a French player, got caught for cheating, actually VAC banned, which is, I don't know how that happens. Like, it's like
I
getting
think
caught.
everybody knows.
It's like
It's one of
evading
those
the
stories that even if you don't play Counter-Strike, you know the highlight, you know what happened, right?
Well, the average fan has only been here for a year and a half. So. That's ancient history now, Unc.
Yeah, it's 11 years ago. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man. Getting old. Especially with this round taking so long, but, you know, it's blocks. You have to just kind of wait. You have to go out in the open unexpectedly and get some frags. They managed to pick up QB so far with that long exchange. Is that going to be it? Is that going to be everything they can muster? Holzerk, still hot.
Oh,
And he ain't cooling off! Finds his 17th kill, and that's at least a little bit of damage.
some damage dealt to Big's economy. Of course, the side of Complexity will have a buy in the next, trying to extend their lead now after Big came into just grasping distance. 2 rounds to go for Berlin International Gaming to get us to a tied result on map number 1.
Wir sollten 3er Langtag spielen und nur kurz fighten. Und ihr solltet, wenn es geht, auf Timing B absmucken und auch mit.
Was will der Admin?
Oh no, admin's being called.
Oh, that's never a good thing.
No. Another old school thing, if at like very, very old school lands, if a German called the admin, it was usually for some kind of rules lawyering. Like, oh, they didn't all have the clan tag, so we all win by default, or they didn't record demos or something. That was a very typical move back in the day. Very, very different time, of course.
Oh yeah, a long time.
Did you ever try to
matter.
rules lawyer?
We're getting back into things.
Yes, we are.
As Complexity are back on a buy. They're gonna play it slow for now. Allow Big to stew in it. Big are gonna take early control of long. Of course, you have to allocate some CT players off of that part of the map after you take control of it. So Complexity at some point could actually opt to take back that part of the map.
Triple setup towards short. But these two are watching the mid smoke. No, they're trying to boost over it. They might just miss each other. Yes, they do. Grim and JT with the 2. And B side has been taken. The bomb, a very long rotate, but Big have no way of knowing that. They might just try to give the long player a far cry from a 1 round, of course. Will they try the retake?
Nah.
Not even do the thing where you put 1 or 2 guys close to it to see if you can maybe get a kill? Nah, they're too disciplined for it.
QB's still alive and he has a kit. So, I mean, I never know with him after yesterday's match and ending of Dust 2. If you missed it, you can always go to the Fissure Highlight YouTube channel and check everything that's happened so far in the tournament.
Exclamation mark go into chat.
Yep. It's going to be 9 for
Spoilers.
Complexity.
It was defuse while Heroic had already exited the bomb site.
It's alright, like, Heroic got eliminated. You don't need to rub salt in the wounds on stream.
It's okay, the Heroic admin's not watching. Terrorists win. I've only seen the big admin in chat so far.
Hi, big admin.
Guys, we can't be boosting.
Might drop me an instant.
Look at their money.
Keep up the good work and everything. As good of a work as, well, both sides have been giving us, really. Looking forward to a little bit more from the usual suspects in big. But the KDs are positive. Oh, no, wait. The assists are at the end. So,
I
JDC.
always have trouble, adjusting to that. That's a thing in most games, and for some reason Counter-Strike decided to adopt that.
Yeah.
I just like it. Like, it should not be KDA, it should be CAD, and you can fight me for this. I'll be in Sava Center in Belgrade, 18th, 19th, 20th of July. So, yeah, no
Be
problem
there or
about
be
that.
square.
Yeah, be there, be square. Of course,
And
an
fight Cuba.
argumental fight. We're not going to get into a fist fight.
Over naming conventions for statistics in video
Yeah.
games.
I think that would be a little bit too much. Alrighty. Let's get back into things.
Yep.
Complexity looking for room on the map, and they seem to be looking for a B split quite early. Double smokes thrown towards mid, a smoke thrown to B as well. 2 defenders guarding it, but this is not going to be easy for Big. They're going to have to risk it with the guys coming from A. Smoke breaks, but only Crimbo gather. Looking for something. Crimbo finds it, hyped as well, and this attack has been stopped. Complexity annihilated unless Sixie can find an incredible clutch. He finds 2, but he's going to have to do a hell of a lot more if he wants to get something out of this round.
Yeah, the bomb's still on the floor, and they weren't ready for him directly after the Molotov, strangely. It's just, he didn't pick up the bomb yet, and they will make sure that it stays that way. A very, different type of round than we're used to, a nice change of pace. You want to be doing the change of pace after, you know, conditioning your opponent for a long enough period of time. It just didn't work out. Even with a measly 2 defenders on that B site, you know. They still managed to hold on to it, did Big.
That was quite important for them. This is a great opportunity for the German team to actually equalize the scoreline. They need just this one round to completely break the economy of Complexity. This is an opportunity for them. Complexity, not going to try anything quick, not so quick at least, not as was the case in the previous round. There's chip damage dealt to JT and Grim. Not too much damage. Tapson overstaying his welcome on short. Has a molly playing behind the flames, between the flames, not finding the frag to Grim. And that's a man advantage now for Complexity. Do they want to pick up pace?
I mean, usually you do when you kill someone on a bomb site, you pick up your things and go into battle. It's just that the 2 big players, they're trying to take long control and they successfully retake it. Hype trying to get them as they cross, but he will not connect as the bomb will get planted. He got scared of the fire. But anyway, it's 3 versus 3. How did Big get back into this round? They got QB on long, and the 2 other players on the other 2 entrances to the bomb site. It's just someone has to win that first fight. This smoke is really delaying things.
They got kits, they got utility, but 1 player out of the picture, and that's already a call for the players to escape. Not gonna happen for JDC though. JT waited for that smoke to fade and found an easy frag. Crimbo, no chance in this round. Does he even have a chance of saving this gun? That's the question. JT already situated on short. Unable to catch him jumping. And that's going to be number 10 for Complexity.
Finally on those double digits. All it took was for Tabson to die quite early in that fight. And then when they decided to attack, despite losing long control, just not being bothered, continuing with the A assault. And Big's retake was simply not on point. Let's see if their USPs are. They're gonna have to be helping out Crimbo's lone hero M4. But he's making a setup toward the B site. If they don't go here, this whole round's a wash.
Not to jinx them, but Complexity have been solid in evading stacks. Oof, QB. Just shoulder peeking, rather jiggle peeking and getting caught off guard by Halzerk. That's an entry, but still, he wouldn't have survived for long either way. And of course, Big need to find a reaction. Taking control of tunnels. But is it too little? Is it too late? Can Crimbo do something heroic with this M4? Complexity gonna find an easy way to the A-bomb site.
Yeah, they're gonna be telegraphing it as well. So Big know what's going on, and now they're sending in the bomb first. Oh no, okay, they were presence on long. This rotate is now impossible. Out mid, out lower tunnels, doesn't matter. You're a dead man because Complexity had all of that map control and obviously the superior weaponry. But now the question is, can Crimbo play the waiting game, right? Can he actually play hide and seek for another 20 seconds? Ready or not, here we come. That's what Complexity are saying.
And they were already deep on the hunt. There was no way for him to survive, not on B anyway. Another round for Complexity, and it seems like Big's map pick might be slowly but surely running away from them.
Yeah, a map I thought was a surefire hit, given the level they showed us last time on it, right? But I guess things might have turned out a little bit differently with Halzerk and Sixie stepping up as they have. And that gives me pause for thought, right? What about Train that's upcoming? Big are absolute cheeks at Train, at least if you look at, you know, their last 3 months of performance. Has been a player break in the middle there, but, you know.
One thing to mention are the tickets. Type exclamation mark ticket in chat, and you'll get all the info of how you can attend the playoffs at the Sava Center in Belgrade for the 20th of July. Okay, let's get back into things as the action has seemingly already started. Hyped down to 28 HP. I was gonna say the dust might have been settled, but they want to fight. It's gonna be a battle on short.
Yuba, even if it's settled, this is the dust too.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Is this round gonna be ridiculous for Complexity is what I'm trying to see. This one would be the knockout punch for Big Clan. And their short aggression has so far been unsuccessful. As for the mid doors though, JDC had a couple of them. Sent them back into lower tunnels, sent them packing. What's gonna be Complexity's response now? What can they even do?
Do they want to go towards short? That might be a slaughter. Wherever Complexity go, they're going to be under threat. JDC keeping Big alive on Dust 2. Nyx, well, he can't miss, and even if he finds the kill, he might just get traded away. Swinging his steps and finds a frag. Continuing with QB to clean up short, and there's little to nothing JT can do. It's going to be 8 for Big. This map is far from over. Now, we spoke about Train. That's going to be our second map. Big, they didn't play it a lot in recent times, and when they did, they played it in online Tier 2 tournaments. So it's a bit of a mixed bag when it comes to results. Not looking
Maybe they've been
best.
cooking on it, you know, maybe they've been playing it in practice, but realistically, if you've been practicing something really hard, the first official you're going to be playing is not going to be going that well. So I am really kind of scared for them in this series if they can't continue to pick it up. But they won the must-win round. That is kind of what counts in the end. And they have 2 AWPs, which you need to play in a special way to kind of avoid a double op setup. Let's see if Complexity are going to be catching on.
The double up setup always dangerous. It's whipped out so late, but one up on the floor as JDC hits the deck, and that's also info. They know, of course, the op is still in play. Crimbo got his hands on the sniper, but now the defense is going to be spread thin. What's the plan for Complexity? Do they want to go towards the site already? Are they just going to wait for Big to expend all of their utility, or as much as they have to spend? Trying to reaggress towards Long. That's the case for Complexity, but that smoke will keep them at bay for a little while longer, though Crimbo catches JT, and that maybe means Complexity needs to readjust.
Yeah, if it's a 4 versus 4, that's usually good for the terrorists, right? There's more points of entry than there are opponents. But we can see those opponents being stacked up on B, and when you know it, when they don't know what's going on, you kind of have to push. You have to get the info. And out of top mid, I mean top tunnels, they have gone, but out of mid doors, Complexity rises. Looks like a mid to B, and Big should be ready for it, but the op misses. Crimbo, you really got to hit those.
And the problem is he didn't really have time to stop flick, or rather stop scope and flick.
Yeah. He's always repeating that War Owl strategy in his head.
Yeah, definitely.
Classic video.
There's going to be 4 map points for Complexity on the opposing team's map pick. Big wanted too much too early in this round, trying to aggress tunnels in a far from an opportune moment, unable to post the defense on the B-bomb site. Led to them being in a pickle now. I mean, they're going to have a bye in the next one. Money is not the issue, but they're going to chain, or rather have to chain together 4 if they want to force overtime.
And with 4 Complexity players surviving, that's going to be enough spare cash for future rounds that they kind of have to win quite a few full buy rounds for the remainder, right? There should be 3 full buys for the remaining 4 rounds. If my math is not
even
mistaken.
counting loss bonus and potentially a bomb plant or 2. This is not going to be an easy job for Big to get back into.
No one said it was easy. They're going to have to actually do it, right? Hyped. Very aggressive here. Lower tunnels. Pulsar.
Oh!
Lets him get away? Out middle, through double doors like a speed demon, but then he gets the no-scope through the smoke, through the door. Hyped thought he was home free. But
Never free
not.
when Pulsar's on the prowl. Tapson trying to bring one back. Not going to be so easy with so many rifles pointed directly at you. But still, keeping his position here. Maybe wants to catch somebody off guard. Smoke moves through the smoke. JT loses a lot of HP. Still a man advantage for Complexity. And they have more than a minute on the clock to contemplate their options.
Their options, as always on the multiple choice, are A and B. Mid or short. Grim finds an entry, tries to get QB because he heard him shoot. He knew he had it from Os, but just couldn't quite win that fight. However, they reaggress toward B. They should have the lead. With Crimbo hiding in this corner, however, potential is there. Finds Sixie, but then gets sprayed down from the higher position, the high ground gained as the bomb gets planted on B site. Nyx holding back the attack from doors, but JDC answers.
Oh! Would you look at that? Barely even saw him, found the frag. That's a good clutch to prolong Dust 2.
Huge stuff coming out of JDC here. One wrong step there at the end. And it would have been all over for... What did you say JDC stands for?
John De Castro.
Never knew that.
Yeah, I
learn
get
something
quite
every
deep
day.
into things. Tapson dying. That's what sort of snowballed this round. Luckily, JDC was ready enough to get the clutch. I mean, JT was quite low. 1 bullet was enough. So after Nyx died, You just had to hope if you're JDC that JT is not going to insta-tap you. Otherwise, you have some pretty good chances of getting that 1v1. Though I don't think that it was all confirmed damage onto JT. Given that he lost most of his HP through the smoke, if I remember.
At the end of the day, it is a duel between that. There you go, the Halzerk no scope again. Huge kill feed at that moment. But yeah, let's just get into the round here. Forget about everything else. JDC has pushed lower tunnels, and he's decently successful. Almost killing 2 is good enough for this point in the game, I think. 4 versus 4. And it's big on the move. They have to decide. Where do you want to re-aggress, or do you want to stand still?
That's the problem.
Complexity, you already have like their plan in mind.
If you're big, you don't really have a lot of intel gathered. You know that there's a player in tunnels, but that could have changed so many times so far. Complexity scarcely taking control of long early throughout the second half. We didn't see a lot of that from them. Just playing it relatively slow so far. And really, it seems like they want to go towards B, guarded by 2 players, and still yet JT to come for that rotate, regroup with his teammates if he wants to take that part of the map, or rather help them with taking B. Tapson versus JT. I see it on the minimap, and Tapson finds an easy frag. Now the attack must start if they want to go somewhere with this round. QB and Crimbo ready to receive, and already a flank from Tapson coming in. This is not looking good. Ooh. They're gonna have to be really quick, really precise. Grim on the flank as well, coming from mid, but QB dispatches him. Knicks, no chance here. It's 10 for big, and Dust 2 ain't over just yet.
Playing nice and composed there on that B site. Tapson also, huge plays from him. Risky at just the right points in the game. That flank would have sealed the deal. It really did force them out here into an uncomfortable situation with one guy being far away and the other one watching you from boost. You can't really do much there other than pre-aim the boost. But they could be anywhere as far as you're concerned. However, Complexity, they're running this one a bit faster than usual, trying to find if anyone's going to be aggressing lower tunnels again. This time, they are out of luck. No one's there to receive them. They can just continue that momentum, take it to short perhaps, find an entry there, start building around. It's Tapson that's going to be the first hit.
Space to the right, now in trouble, might be problems, even though he's against pistols, though Hype is there to cover his captain, and this now should not be a problem for the big side as they're dispatching of the Complexity players. No armors, no chances, and Halzerk, well, had he got a C4, that maybe would have been a different story. This time around, this way, checks the B-bomb site, nobody's home. It's going to be 11 for big. And now only 1 round necessary for them to force overtime. Complexity have been in control of this map for most of Dust 2. Now that is not the case anymore.
Far from it. Starting out, of course, at 4-0, then kind of evened out a bit. Then they started dominating again. But after they lost the pistol in the following half, it was kind of all downhill from there, unfortunately. Just disparate rounds here and there won. Nothing truly consistent, as all they really need is just 1 round at this point. Just the entry would be nice, you know, to open up a round and be in the lead for once.
That would be quite useful for them. It's not a case for some time now, if I recall correctly. Big, though, playing it passively this time around. They don't want to aggress. They don't want to be in a problematic situation should one of the defenders fall. Just hoping that they can hold off an attack when an attack starts. Only 2 players situated towards A, though, and Complexity seem like they are ready to attack that bomb site exactly. I did not see anything so far, so little intel gathered for big so far in the round. 50 seconds on the clock. Complexity Now's the time coming for them to start edging closer to the site. Capson dispatches of one, then finds the double towards long. Complexity, it seems like they can't finish this map off. So was the case yesterday against BetBoom in that map number 1. Hyped ready with his op, no chance, and we will be looking at overtime. A wall bank to end things. Halzerk with an all to do, but nothing he can do. And we'll be watching more rounds on Dust 2.
Was wollen die tun? Was wollen die tun, Jungs? Du bist der Krasseste. Auf geht's, Mann. Genau so, Jungs.
That is some happy group of Germans.
If I call for a snack slash, you win that.
And Halzerk, the first word I heard from him was unfortunate. That kind of sums it up, honestly. Yeah, there's like a huge 2K to open up the round here from Tapson. He is, once again, the reason that this team is relevant. And for this specific round, the reason that this wasn't yet another fake comeback. We already saw one today from BetBoom. I'm glad a comeback actually succeeded here. And now it's all even ground. Once that overtime starts, the slate gets wiped clean and you're basically playing an MR6.
Now everybody's got money. Double op setup for the Germans. Let's see what they can do with 2 ops. They did whip them out a few times during regulation. Didn't do a lot, but those ops did come into play. JT, finally, Complexity opened things up with the man advantage. Plan now, do they want to slow things down? JT running through the flames, but Tapson ready with the big green to bring it back into a 4v4.
Very good stuff. JDC, oh, wished he had the gun out there. Flashbang out, but seemingly no one that could make any use of it. It's Tapson on the op now. What can't he do? Rifles, snipes, IGLs. Swiss Army knife, except he's German. Meanwhile, Complexity. Blitzing out of short, and no one to really get them on the cross.
Nobody there to receive this attack. So it might be the case that Big are going to have to retake. The bomb has been planted. A bit of damage dealt by utility. Halzerk down to less than half. But is that so much of a problem when you're wielding an op? And Big just coming closer to the side. Is going to take a long time for QB to get through long. But he's running forward. And this retake should commence any time now, but QB's dead. Now everybody coming from CT, do they have a chance? The answer seems to be negative, but JDC finds a frag, he finds a double, but gets traded back. Tapson, too little, too late, trying to find something, but Grim catches a double, and Complexity back in the lead.
Who would have thought? The team that chokes overtime wins the first round of overtime. It's like a rule. I'm surprised that's not like a codified rule at this point, like with a name and everything. It's something about how all of the pressure kind of gets relieved for the team that made the comeback, and now they finally get to relax. And then they lose a round, and now they have to tense up again. So Big, hoping to get back to their winning ways after conceding one. After a long, long time, of course.
I mean, if Big actually win Dust 2, then I gotta say the script writers have been slacking off, because that would be the same exact script used yesterday when Complexity and BetBoom played Nuke.
These guys are recycling, man. At least they're good for the planet or something. You know what was going on for a while there? They had 2 ops, Complexity, on the T side. Not something you see every day, but one of those ops seems to have been exchanged for a standard issue AK. They must not have gotten it done what they wanted to. Now, they're just bunching up toward B tunnels. The grenades are relentless. You're in overtime. The nades are everywhere. The bullets as well. Tapson still holding strong from the car. Ooh, and he even gets away with throwing down the Molotov. This guy's insane, and this round is won unless the IGL on the opposite side has equal tenacity to Tapson. But he is second to none.
Yeah, the scorer's tied once again as they strike back on this defense. Complexity, That did not look perfect. Just trying to run through the smoke, tapped away, and they were already tagged a little bit by earlier utility usage coming from Big. And Tapson again, a multi-frag necessary, doing everything for his team. And if anybody thinks that we're like really liking Tapson, yeah, yesterday he was the hero for Big in many a rounds won against Heroic, so it is not without reason.
This guy can still do it all. And QB's tit for tat with him right now. They're both on 19 frags. And it's not even that top heavy. Crimbo's not that far behind with his 18, so really, really even scores on their side. Complexity, however, really focusing on the guy in the lower left of your screen before we cut back into the game. Your boy Halzerk on 24. The mid attempt successful.
Just an exchange of utility. A few bullets fired from each side. Nothing done so far. No engagements. No damage dealt by that taps and nade from short. Though JT tucked in mid. And they want to take late control long. QB just behind the door. Anti-flash, but unable to find the frag, though. Sixie, he's going to take out Grim. That's a 4v4. Anyway, though, JT, he's been waiting for this. He's been waiting for a rotate, a reaction, and punishes JT exactly for that. Or rather, JDC exactly for that.
Yeah, too many acronyms here, but I really like his positioning. As soon as he got that kill, he darted into lower tunnels, expecting for Tapson to peek out of short. He's reading them like an open book. Hyped as well, of course, successful on that long peek. Gets the pick. A 3v3 situation in front of us. And there's no smokes for Complexity. They can't really move around. Hyped, unobstructed, but traded in the end. As the 2 versus 2 commences and Tapson has the info, he was playing so patiently this entire time from short. And he takes the exact right time to make that step forward. JT, do I have to say the line again? He's not Tapson. He's built different. 14 for Big.
Yeah, they're in the lead. And they're feeling a lot better than when they were in a deficit. Now Complexity under all the pressure. And Big, they know how much they need this map. Going to train is going to be a hurt locker for them. So they need to convert their map pick. So far, looking good as they forced overtime and now they have in the lead. But the sides are changing. We'll see how Complexity can adjust.
As you mentioned, Big really not having posted any kind of real success on the next map of Train. But it's going to have to enter their vocabulary. Oh, actually, no, now that Overpass is in there. They're going to be pretty happy, probably.
Yeah, I'm not.
Fair enough.
Can't
You know,
stand that map.
It is literally in Berlin, the map itself, so...
Understandable, yeah.
If you're Berlin International Gaming, you're going to be playing it whether if it suits your style or not, I think. You're going to just make it suit your style. Exactly. As Dust 2 also is their strongest map. And we can see for a good reason they can take down even a higher rated opponent such as Complexity. Grenade strike over there, the artillery working overtime. And a 4v4 situation makes it another B split, it seems like.
Yeah, and this is going to be very dangerous. Makes it all to do. Nothing done, though. Grim gets a fighting chance, but QB takes that chance away. And Halzerk, you can only watch the kill feed.
I
As
gotta
Big
do
strike
everything
15.
myself. He's on 24, man. This must be the worst feeling. Having such high impact, also fragging out. And then You might just get destroyed in overtime after conceding it.
One more round left to go for big. Complexity got to dig deep if they want to force another overtime, and I'd be happy to watch that with what we've been seeing so far from both sides. Of course, qualification to the quarterfinal is on the line. $1 million tournament, and Hype knows it. Opens things up, takes down Halzerk. No up on the other side now.
Very, very good shot there. Makes it a 17th. He's not been fragging out that consistently, but he doesn't need to. He's got other people picking up the slack. Red trying to pick up some himself. They're one round away from elimination. He knows he needs to be in the open, do something risky. Ooh, but it's too long. It was poking out. And Hype chops it off.
Well, they still have one more
As-
map to play.
Of course. But for this map itself, it is over. Kaput. Complexity have not managed to close it out. to the playoffs that are going on in Belgrade, but it bears repeating. You guys, if you're in Serbia, you really do have to come and see the event live. Really would appreciate you guys showing up, making a good crowd and all that stuff. !ticket in chat if you want to get some more info about where you can buy those tickets.
Yeah, and one thing to mention, I mean, you'll be seeing the better from this best of 3. Will it be big? Will it be complexity? We're here to find out, but one of these two teams will be playing in front of a crowd, and I think that it means a lot to both teams because they didn't really do a lot of playing in front of the crowd for a solid while now. Of course, you can say, yeah, they played a tournament here or there, but the experience is quite vital for all of the players included. If they play in front of a crowd, who knows? They might give themselves more confidence in upcoming events and might get another chance to do it throughout this year, which is quite important to them. There are some really big events coming up, and these two teams will be attending them. There's one in Germany coming up in less than a week, and both of the teams want to be prepared. Of course, we'll see who can book that ticket to the quarterfinals of Visual Playground 1 CS. Talking about Dust 2, I mean, Halzerk has been popping off, but sadly for him, that wasn't enough.
No, it definitely was not. That has to be one of the most annoying places to be in if you're kind of being the hard carry of the team and still things aren't kind of turning out well in your favor. But you know what? The other side, it just had like a much smoother sort of skill kind of line, you know, like everyone was performing. QB happens to be the one that was top fragging with 23, but everyone else was not that far behind. It really does come down to the eye test if you want to be determining the MVP here today.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's a lot of Counter-Strike to be eyeing. We can see Tabson checking his notes. Maybe those notes are necessary. I mean, I really hope that Big have been practicing Train, as we've previously established. They didn't really play it a lot in recent times, and when they did, it didn't look good online. Hopefully on LAN, it might be a different story, and we have seen yesterday a very solid complexity playing Train.
Very much so. And, you know, since we had the camera on the Opera there, it is going to be an Opera's paradise yet again. I predict there is so many long angles that you can take on that map. I really would like to see kind of Crimbo on the other side, hyped on the other side, kind of sticking it to Halzerk on this one. Especially if you're going to be starting out on the more favored side. You know, you didn't pick the map, you get to pick which side you start on. You got to get that early momentum going to slow them down and potentially close this one out in 2, but you know.
Absolutely. I mean, Big is in a position where this CT side has to be strong if they hope to do something on Train. Otherwise, I can see Complexity steamrolling them and heading into Nuke. I mean, then anything could happen in that turn of affairs. You don't really know if the big players are going to be downhearted, but maybe I'm rushing into things. Maybe we're going to see a very solid Big. Of course, on your screens, you can see Mither, new coach of Complexity, bringing maybe a change to this team. A much needed tactical advantage. Of course, his work is still yet to be seen, given that this tournament is his debut with the team.
Yesterday, at the ending, the interview, Grim really did have a lot of good things to say about him. He keeps things organized, apparently. But we're jumping into the pistol, of course. Out of Ivy, a triplet of Complexity players jumping around corners. Sixie getting some sick shots, and they're even looking at their backs before going into Crimbo's dualies, where 2 of them falter, but it's still Tapson around the corner. Taps 1, gets the bomb on the ground, and versus 2, he's gonna have to defend it.
Oh, that's not going to be easy for Tapson, but he's made so many impactful plays so far for Big during this event. Maybe a cherry on top of that beautiful Sunday of Tapson's clutches. Let's see what he can do. Of course, JT and Nyx, they're going to play together. They're going to play it slow, checking all the angles necessary. And they have a flash which can all play apart. Tapson looks for the first and not going to find him, though. Complexity take the pistol.
Nah, you really don't want to be taking the flash out when it's a 2v1 in a pistol. That is a classic way to get yourself swung and one-tapped, and that's exactly when Tapson went around the corner. But unfortunately for him, he does falter with those doesn't get the one taps. And yeah, Complexity are going to be starting it out with an advantage on the T side, where the advantages are already there. I mean, in terms of economy at least. Big are going to have to go really all in on this eco. 4 of them pushing Ivy. And Halzerg's the one to get the info to his teammates with Nyx to help him out.
Yeah, should be a Nyx in trouble. Oh, this is maybe getting a little bit out of hand. Also, Grim got dinked by his teammate. That's not
messy.
always pretty. Also, Crimbo has a 5-7, but he's on the other side of a map. He's completely inconsequential. No chance for JDC, and Hype's gonna get taken out as well. Damage dealt so far by Big, taking out 2 guns out of Complexity hands. Of course, Complexity should be taking this round, but let's not count Crimbo completely out of it. Should he take 1 more gun, that's solid financial damage dealt.
And they're like expecting him everywhere but main, and that's exactly where he shows up. Gets yet another kill here for his side. But now that they know where he is, the 5-7's simply not gonna cut it. Complexity, you may have won the round, but frankly, there have been some mistakes made, right? Halzerg, when he was just trying to hold the Ivy push, he really didn't have to peek out of that corner or reaggress. Sixie was helping him out and keeping him safe. But in the heat of the moment, you like to do those cocky, puggy plays.
The weird thing is, I don't think he even did that. I think there's a gap which...
Oh, really?
Where they shot him from, yeah.
I was not aware of this. If that's the case, my apologies go out.
Alright.
But I do doubt it.
Big. They want to save up some money in this round as well. They want to have a proper buy in the next, but they are going to have something to threaten Complexity with. A few SMGs, that M4 in the hands of Crimbo. This is far from a bad half buy that Big have whipped out. So Complexity might still be under threat, and should they lose this round, Big, they're going to be rolling in the cash. Crimbo going to be tested with that M4, finds the first, looks for more. He knows that there are players just around the corner, but does not want to swing. Brings it back into a 4v4, but he's on 5 HP, and so is Sixie. Even though they have a man advantage, does that even count? Yes! When JT finds a frag, but he's been doled. Still under threat. Halzerg finds one. And JDC might have a chance here.
Hard break curve around for Big with all of those single pushes going on into Brown Halls. So many trades happened, but of course at the end of the day, Complexity with the man advantage, and well, they seem to have evaded JDC's crosshair for the foreseeable future. They're very much far away.
Yeah, 22 seconds on the clock. They're still not safe. They're still not out of the woods yet with Grim on such low HP. Don't count JDC out of this just yet. If he finds the proper timing not found, and he's a dead man. Again, damage dealt, but Complexity claimed the round.
They did the Fury thing. Dropping below, I think, have this one.
Getting a slight case of deja vu for that first map. Let's hope it doesn't go the same way from here on out. They started Dust 2 on a 4-0.
Yeah, but Big are going to have a proper buy now. They're going to have an up on Hyped. They're going to have all the utility necessary, so they can actually muster a defense here. No up on the side of Complexity. A little bit of utility damage dealt. Utility exchange, not going to take anybody out of the picture. Spamming through the smoke's not going to do that either. A strong defense mustered on A, and Complexity want to strike towards that site, and it's going to be a quick one, though JDC ready with the double, and maybe more yet to come. Nyx finds them with Hype good on the trade, and JT and Halzerg don't really have a chance here. Now, do they? So little HP on him, and they're just going to get executed for Big's first.
And they go wild with joy, as you could see. Credit to JDC, of course, for getting the initial 2. Those guys coming out main, they practically lined up for him. There were no grenades to deal with JDC's position. You can't cover everything at once, I guess.
Already, Complexity lost 1 round in their back to pistols. That's how much their economy was in shambles due to losing so many players in round 2.
What?
They want to rush towards B, but the Tech 9s showing their supremacy. JT finds 2. It's a 2 for 2, and still a chance for the T's. The bomb has been planted, but Tapson brings big an advantage. Though JT with a rifle, he's still a threat. Now that threat has been annulled. And Grim through the smoke. They're expecting this. Hype, not the best timing. Grim still finds himself with a sliver of a chance. No way to claim the round, but maybe he could have found one more frag.
Or at least saved the weapon or something, but nah. Still successful eco round, if I do say so.
Oh, yeah.
It was just a train, pun intended, of course, going down to that B station,
I can meta smoke for you.
rushing on in, getting the bomb planted, even picking up some kills on the way. That's kind of what you want to see from the ecos.
Yeah, absolutely. Run the defense down, get an easy bomb plant, secure some extra cash for yourself. You can be quite content with that.
Wow, so many smokes here on A already, but nobody from the Complexity camp has left yet. Sixie has left this corporeal realm. Hype sends him to the afterlife. And now, from the back of electricity, Grim trying to find the entrance, but gets denied. And the guys out of Maine, they're not having any more luck than he has. 5 alive. Big stay strong.
And this is a round they need it. The previous one didn't go so well as they've lost 3 players this time. A solid one. That's going to give them a solid chunk of change for some future rounds. And Complexity completely shut down. Maybe, and I don't say this lightly, maybe they should slow things down, as this fast approach has yielded mixed results. I usually like some fast Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
For Complexity, it didn't really work in some of the more important rounds so far.
You kind of have to play it fast with Tech 9s, though. That's what they're going to try and do to Crimbo to punish his position. They're very slow around that corner. And then QB's the surprise factor, the 1-2 punch in Brown Halls rings true. Still, you know, an AK donated, but what can you realistically do now that it's 2 versus 4?
Yeah, especially with no armor. Aim punch is going to play a part. Let's see how Halsrick aim looks. Should he find that initial tap, that's where the aim punch does not play a part. A Grim Deeg. Yesterday we've seen some nice shots. He's gonna find something here. Well, at least enables the trade. Halsrick, a dead man walking, is just a matter of time when he dies, as the Germans are all around, tightening the noose and getting into the lead.
Unexpected conclusion given the beginning of the round. Nothing really working with that B aggression. Didn't quite play it as fast as they did before, giving Crimbo enough time to run away. And then the rest is history with QB got his chance to start shooting. So, yeah. The money has recovered. The T's can try something else, try a different approach. Splitting up between main, Ivy, and, well, leaving that one to lurk around B.
It's not going to be as fast as previous round. Complexity had a buy. Big taken 4 in a row. JT taking a lot of damage. Down to 31. Sixie also tagged up. Not the best start, but it is to be expected when you're on the T side. You're going to be on the receiving end of a lot of utility in those choke points on train, and still utility available on the big side. Complexity just enough to take a side, and they've lost, or rather used, all of their smoke so far, so it's not going to be easy to take a side. Somebody is going to have to find that vital entry.
It's going to be the Ivy guys. Nope. Ivy gang shot up by QB. But the bomb's heading B, though. The sole defender, not for long. cavalry has most certainly arrived. The bomb was nowhere near being planted at any point. Still, all the big guys left alive. We may have underestimated their game here, Luba.
It seems to be the case.
This is a
Big
slaughter.
have been firing off quite well, completely shutting down Complexity. I mean, most of the rounds that they've won were quite confident, quite dominant. Yeah, they had a few blunders here and there that led to them losing a few more guys than they wanted, but that was also the case for Complexity when they were winning rounds. Big did a good amount of work to do a lot of economic damage to Complexity in the first 3 rounds. Afterwards, it's big game all around. And Complexity, they're in that weird spot on the T side where 2 players have saved the rifles, but they're not going to have the best buy in the next round. The rest of the team will.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why also it didn't make sense for Big to even hunt them down for exit frags, right? Because you just let them save. Like, okay, I think we want your economy to be terrible. You're not getting anything done on the full buys. Why would we be scared of 2 AKs?
Absolutely. Especially with how the Big's been playing and rotating around the map. Complexity.
Wherever they go,
for a
there's just
lifeline
like
here.
there's just so many big players wherever they go. Reading them like a book here. And if you can read, obviously, on your screen right now, you can get your ticket right over there for Official Playground 1 CS, the live event that we're putting on. You guys can see all of these pros live. Well, one of these teams anyway, whichever one qualifies. Exclamation mark ticket in chat to get the info you require. Join this event. Now then, fast action onto the A side. Look at Grim's position over there. He's taken out by
looking
JDC.
good. 1 for 2. That's solid for Complexity so far. Big's defense now struggling a little bit. They've allocated all of their players towards A, but will Complexity already bite on this? If they strike the site, it still might be dangerous. All of them contact uncovered, but Grimbo takes down 3 and gives a chance to Tapson. 1v1 against JT, but Tapson only 28 points of health, which means he's going to have to find the proper timing. He's going to have to find a way to surprise JT.
Yeah, but JT also doesn't have all of his HP either. A battle of the IGLs. You do love to see it. We saw it sometimes on the first map there, but Tapson was always the one that ended up on top. And I don't mean to alarm you, Luba, but I think we're looking at another one of those. Should be hidden, not for long! Nice headshot, nice positioning. Big brain plays coming out of Tapson.
And we've seen that before. Long rotates that completely discombobulate any idea the other team has of where you're at. And that's exactly what he needed. But Crimbo, hats off. That spray down was crucial, and that's what, in the end, played the biggest part in Big claiming another round consecutively. Complexity back on pistols, and this T side ain't looking good.
Certainly not. They have almost definitely conceded the lead here. Just a matter of time before that gets confirmed, of course. Still a question as to where they're going to be executing. Complexity looking like a bit of a one-trick pony on these low buys. Another pop out of B. And there's 3 players here. Again, Big have yet again made themselves an impenetrable shield of the B site, I say, as the entries actually do ring in. But the bomb's not getting planted, and that's what counts.
Losing only 1 player in the end. One of the kills was a team kill on the side of Complexity, if I saw that right. So, not sure where that flash came from. 2 or 3 Complexity players on that first drop were completely blind, which led to a multi-frag quite quickly for Big.
That couldn't have been from
The
Big,
NA
right?
team,
They couldn't have expected their
possibly.
positioning that way, so it could have been a team flash from Complexity. That just makes it so much worse.
Yeah, not looking their best. They looked
God.
really good yesterday on this map. A double up setup whipped out by Big. They did that multiple times on Dust 2. It yielded mixed results, but let's see what it's going to do now. Train is a solid map for Oppers. And a forward positioning towards Ivy, that might catch somebody off guard.
Yeah, the Opper far away, QB up close to get the multi-kill should it present itself. Present it will soon, Halzerk. He did the run boost. Didn't quite work out for him.
+1 for Big again. Starting another round so well. Complexity looking for an answer. This equation is getting really complicated for them. This is their own map pick after failing to use the lead they had on the first map. Though Grim finds a frag and so does JT, but Tapson is still alive with this up and claims a third. It's a 1v2. JT trying to bring it into a 1v1 and he will, but he has no idea where Hyped is and he needs to get back to the bomb. Hyped, how quick are you, JT? How precise are you? Surgically precise as finally Complexity get to number 4.
That was an incredible clutch there at the end. To expect Hype to be in that position to actually land the shot. He was very close to landing it himself, but the off angle kind of prevented it. Tapson, however, he did his damnedest in this round. What a highlight from behind red. JT finally getting his revenge for all of those clutches Tapson could get over him.
All right, this gives Complexity a lifeline. Getting 4 on the board on the T side of Train, that's something you're looking for. Should they get to 5, it's more than an active map. It's Complexity content with the first half.
But these rounds that they're winning, they're coming down to the wire. There's no consistency here. There's nothing to make me believe that Big wouldn't pick up the 8th here. But we have to remember, it's not their map pick, but they did pick which side to start on. Maybe their T side is not gonna be as good. Remains to be seen, but let's watch the final round of the first half. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a match which will determine which of these teams goes on in the tournament to the playoffs. The other one isn't sent home just yet, but both of them, they really want that spot in the Sava Center. Crimbo with the first.
Solid start for Big again. A +1 courtesy of Crimbo. Also behind enemy lines. Oh, somehow being fast enough for JDC, but not quick enough for Hyped, and Tapson takes 2. QB with the finishing touches. It's 8 for Big at the half, and this Train looks quite good. It's a lot better than online, I'd say.
Yeah, no, you can't stop this Train here, man. It is going full steam ahead. And these trains, they run on time.
Yeah. Whoever wins this best of 3, they'll be our 4th quarterfinalist that booked their ticket.
Which are the other ones?
Already there. Lin Vision and Tai Lu. A big day for Chinese Counter-Strike. Rare Adam was eliminated, but 2 Chinese teams going to the quarterfinals, well, that's a
Chinese
lot
CS
of
number 1.
hype for Asian CS.
The momentum we really do hope kind of keeps going, you know. Would be nice if that whole region embraced CS as much as they have Valorant. Hopefully it's a decent gateway drug. But hey, if you want a different kind of fix, and you missed some of the action today, because who can watch all of this Counter-Strike, you know, obviously playing games all day, you can go and see the highlights. Just type !GO into chat, and you will be led to the YouTube channel where all of the highlights are stored, so you can see what you missed and get to hear some voices other than us, maybe.
Yeah. Ooh, Grim. Nice at the beginning of the round. That's not the best start for the side of Complexity. JDC looking for something with that 250. Sixie trying to make up some space and bring a frag back, and he's going to do just that. But Big, they're going towards B. And they seem to be quite interested to do it here and now. 1 defender on that site. Not looking for good for Complexity. The sole B defender needs to find a frag or at least stay alive while the cavalry arrives. And JT making it a bit more easier as he finds Crimbo. Now things are complicating for Big in this pistol.
Will they make the correct call? I think A side should be the right one here, but it all comes down to JT's position. 1 bullet missed. Second option doesn't really present itself. Hype surprises him, and the entries just keep raining in. Nyx, the last one left standing versus 3.
2
And I
kills
don't-
so far.
They don't know where he is,
puts
but
him-
it's gonna be hard.
Definitely. Now they know where he is. Hyped. An easy frag for him. And Big continuing where they left off in the first half.
A terrible turn of events here. Well, for all our NA fans.
Now which one?
Time zone finally such that you guys could come and join us. I'm sorry, this is the state of the game right here. You missed the first one. It was quite a banger. Still waiting for Cole to show up in this one, though.
A bit underwhelming so far from Complexity on their own map pick.
Ooh, but risky buy.
getting
Look at
whooped.
this. MP9's galore.
Yeah, why the hell not? Try and bring the fight to them. Let's see what it actually is gonna give to Complexity. That's gonna be a crunch and trouble for Big. Trouble looms, but Complexity, they don't want to overextend. Just pull back.
Complexity just keep on waiting. Trying to have one last dance with the MP9s while they're still overpowered. While the spray pattern is still somewhat manageable. Not much use for jumping accuracy, but it's still here anyway. New update not yet played at this tournament. And Big have seem to have chosen their vector of attack. It's a B stack, but will they cross into it? This looks like one of those situations where you go through CT.
Possibly. That could be one of their choices. 35 seconds on the clock. Big have to speed up. Sixie finds a double, and now trouble for Big as Grim goes through the smoke and catches to JT.
Let's fucking go.
Secures 5 for Complexity, and this force buy pays off.
Actually insane, dude. Let's go.
Actually insane, dude. Wow. Do like how Halzerk has embraced NA culture. An honorary citizen with his haircut that he used to have. But yeah, a huge round coming out of Complexity. What can I say? It all came down to the fact that they really did commit to that A rotate. Didn't expect any funny business. And once Big decided to explode onto the bomb site, they gave him a taste of the MP9er.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how the CT meta is going to look for SMGs. Like, are people going to use the UMP a bit more often?
The
I mean, it's
UMP
good on
was-
close range. Yeah.
It was nerfed a while ago, the UMP. It doesn't do as much damage against armor, I believe. PP Bison has always been bad against armor. Obviously, that
Yeah,
one's
he-
never coming back.
Sort of a troll pick, right?
What if the P90 comes back instead of Hamas? Who knows? Someone needs to be brave and test it out. But for now, we're brave and rushing through fire into the heat of Nyx and Grim. Waiting for them on that B side. They stopped that rush lickety-split.
Though Crimbo gets an AK for his trouble. Let's not forget, we've seen a 1v5 today. But it would be a bit overzealous to say that Crimbo has this locked down. Gave himself an opportunity. Maybe one more aim duel could present itself.
Someone in chat saying they don't claim Halzerk, but yet he's Norwegian and they do claim Greenland, so you're borderline
Greenland is
claiming
Danish,
Halzerk as
I
well right there, guys.
You're sort of
Oh, wait, is it
affecting
Danish?
multiple countries at that point, yeah.
It may be Danish.
right.
I have forgotten that part. But Norway's closer.
Probably
It
it.
makes more sense.
Geography lesson wouldn't be too bad.
Just give it to Norway, guys. Who cares? Just an island.
Save from Crimbo. He has a deagle right in front of him. Doesn't want to pick it up. It's going to be just the Tech 9 on his belt, an AK in his hands, and he's going to try and make some impact in the next round. Complexity getting to 6, and it's starting slowly but surely to be a bit more dangerous for Big as the complexion of this map is changing with each and every round Complexity takes.
They bought it. Ist auch vorbei. Tja. Wird erstmal lange chillen.
While we're offending countries, by the way, we did just get called NA casters, which is a compliment, I
Oh,
think.
that's I don't read the chat. I'm sorry. But
Probably
I'm
for
sorry
the
that's a
best.
compliment. It's fitty. Alright.
Big on, obviously not the best buy of their lives. Saving those $2,000 for the next. Hopefully, gonna be having a more structured round there in the future. For now, they're really just focusing mostly toward long dog, going into the pop dog area with Tabson waiting for an Ivy push, which is not happening. So, what does he do if he doesn't encounter anyone there?
Well, he's gonna be the tip of the spear for Big. Looking for something with that AK. Alzerk with the scout, always a threat. And it's a slow burner of a round from Big. Trying to catch somebody off guard. Not gonna happen. Complexity keeping their cool, staying their hand, playing it passively, knowing that at best, of course, Big is gonna have just a small buy that they can't really do a lot with on long distance. Saving that Crimbo AK and possibly that Hype Deeg. The attack should start towards A, just a matter of time. No utility to use for Big. Tabson out of the picture as Alzerk domes him. Now, from Pop Dog, they go try to find something, but they just get annihilated. Crimbo only finds one, but Alzerk with the double with the scout. Always nice to see, and Complexity, they're back in it.
Yeah, they did hold back this eco very, very cleanly. They started to at least build up a bank, you know, with all those people surviving. So, Big do have their work cut out for them. But now they have the full buy. Looking forward to seeing the four-dimensional chess aspects of this map coming out. Maybe they were just very good on CT to react. Maybe they don't have a good playbook on this map for the attacking side. Who knows? All I know is JT's holding an angle, and well, Alzerk is right behind him to help him. I didn't know that. They were successful.
Yeah, Crimbo. Is he going to get stabbed in the back? Nick's looking for a timing, possibly through that smoke. But Complexity, they have a man advantage. This is the time where you don't want to force the issue, though it might be profitable for them. Crimbo has no idea what's going on, but neither do the CTs. Oh, this could be interesting. This could be fun. Missed timing, and Sixie finds a double on Ivy. QB brings one back, but is it too little? Is it too late?
Probably is. Like, what can Crimbo really do with this position that he somehow gained? He still expects someone to be on site. Now he can call that it's clear, but the bomb can't even cross toward the B side. All of the entry points are blocked.
Crimbo's going to have to make a play.
Gonna try it, but you can't check all of these corners. And behind one of them hides Alzerk.
That smoke, though, is going to show that there must be a CT somewhere near, so they're going to look for a way to clear him out and maybe find a foothold toward the B site. Breaks the smoke, sees nothing, Alzerk. Now they just need to find him, and they have an idea where to
Surprise!
Crimbo, you're not going to expect him. And finally, Crimbo steps into play. Been inactive, waited. And now they managed to get to the site, but the Complexity players, they're all around, and Nick's, well, I spoke about his backstab. It's going to happen now. It's all down to QB in a 1v3. And the players, CTs, they're all around him. Needs the multi-kill and only finds one. It's only one round that separates these two teams.
Man. Even with gaining the site, they just were not prepared for the instant backstab and the rotate. But the B bomb site in general is quite retakeable. That's why the CTs are very often just content with giving it up, because they know they can retake it later in the future. And just so it happens here. But hey, the score should be even Steven after the upcoming... Actually, it wouldn't be an eco, right? They had full loss bonus and a bomb plant, so The buy should be decent here for Big.
Yeah, they can consider it. No problem about that. Or at least go on a half buy, let Complexity get into a position where the score is tied, and then have a really proper buy. That seems to be the case. I've seen one Tech 9 in one of the players' hands.
They're still deliberating as to what to do, but the council has ordained that it will be a half buy, a save. Crimbo on the hero AK. 18 kills for Crimdog so far.
Oh,
but
that's a
unsuccessful
wild spray.
entry. Oy, oy, oy.
Losing the AK so early in the round, no support, no trade. Sixie is quite low, but does that even matter when rest of the big players only have pistols, hyped only on a Glock, and Halsrick, that's a deep angle. Even with a Deeg, it's hard to hit.
Not a clear path towards CT. Ooh, the smoke. Halsrick, you didn't see him? Yeah, there was a wall in the way.
It's a lot easier when you have an X-ray.
That would be terrible with wall hacks. I would never know what I'm supposed to see and not. Halsrick playing like he's got them installed, except he might want to install the aim ones as well. Falls after the first. Grim picks up the other two. Crisis averted. And that's Complexity evening things up.
Yeah. Very slim margins for JDC to get even close to that C4, especially with the HP he has on him. 2 bullets and he's a goner. Also, a bit more than 30 seconds on the clock means that if he wants to try his hand at this clutch attempt, he's going to have to hurry up and try and find the next kill. Might have isolated duels. That could be the problem for Complexity in this point of time. Should JDC catch one off guard, that might make this an active round, but 50 seconds on the clock. Even if he found Nix, he would stand no chance of winning the round. And Big, they had a very good lead. It was 9-4. Won the pistol after a very good first half, and now it's annulled. Complexity are the ones in the driver's seat.
After such a dominant first half, you hate to see it, but the expected result might just be gracing our screens unless Big have found some kind of an antidote to the Complexity poison that's been coursing through their veins. Lots of fire going on, but after the dust settles, it's Hype that somehow anticipates Grim's elevated position. Maybe push, also expected, and also killed. Hyped, the man of the round.
Yep, Halsrick a bit overzealous to swing out while he's changing the bullet in the chamber. And Complexity, they need to make this a reactive round. They need to find a way to bring a frag or two back. They're doing just that, or at least attempting it. JD seems ready, but the timing not on his side as JT picks an easy kill. Still a lot more work left to be done for Complexity if they want to get into the lead. Sixie swinging, though Hyped ready with that off. Nix took care of Crimbo, so it's still a man advantage for the side of Big.
And it looks like they will be able to close this one out, finally breaking the curse, cooling off the fire that Complexity have been stoking. I say that, and then Tapson just really wides it when he shouldn't have, but shouldn't be that big of an issue. Low HP on Nix got drained real quick. As JT left, he's got nothing to look for in this round. Has to concede the lead, has to concede the double digits. But if we know anything about Complexity is that they will be back. They will be prepared in the next one. They still have the money to do so. They've been building up some strategic reserves. The money printer has gone burr for many a round.
The thing is, Tapson dying, that's going to put Big into some dire straits when it comes to money. Not going to be the best of buys in the next round. Of course, still expecting it to be solid, but they might have to make some concessions. As I say that, they have everything they need. The only one lacking in the utility is Hyped, and not necessarily the Opera, the guy that you want to always have full utility. He just needs to put himself in a good position to flick on an opponent.
And hyped, continuing off of his momentum from the previous round, gets the opener out of Ivy. Grim trying to extinguish the fire before it spreads. Smokes usually do that, but terrorists can run out of those smokes. And they do find the entry there. Taps into even things up and actually take the lead there. JDC was holding CT. And now it's RIP for JT.
Oh, yeah. So
Say
many
that 3
acronyms.
times fast.
Yeah, no way. Nix and Alzerk left standing for complexity, and Big. They're back in the driver's seat. They're the captain now again. They're going to claim 11 and 2 more left to go if they want to go to the quarterfinals. And this is a common occurrence in Counter-Strike. A team manages to complete the comeback, and the only thing that the other team does, they find a way to readjust tactically. Call, attack, pause, or sometimes maybe even that is not necessary. Just find a way to get those opening kills, and Big had done just that. Hyped, rather, had done just that. A very good round previous, and this one finding an opening that sort of steamrolled the round in the hands of Big.
Yeah, a bit of a different approach to go Ivy this time, so they've actually found multiple ways to get rounds on this T side. Definitely something that was very much required. And these kits won't go into use. The bomb has exploded. The T's got the round. This is where Big's momentum can get broken very easily. We've seen these kinds of situations before. Cole still has the money.
That is
NA
true.
orgs,
That
am
is
I
a
right?
factor. I mean,
They got
Let's
the
not
most
talk about
money and then they get
complexity's money.
outdone by Mongols, you know.
that's
But
a
I
different
digress. Complexity are one of the good ones.
story. Absolutely. Counter-Strike would not be the same without complexity, and NA Counter-Strike, to be completely honest, would not be without complexity.
Especially in the modern era where certain orgs are shedding their NA backgrounds, going international, going fully Russian in some cases. That project didn't work out for Cloud9. But enough about those guys. It is 11-9 here in favor of Big. And Complexity, they need to show us that a double op setup maybe is the answer to Big's win streak.
Oh, that's a good start. Grim finds the opener. And Complexity, they're facing a reset, staring down the barrel, but when it's important, they find 2 opening kills. Now, a bit of trouble for Big. They want to break open that B bomb site. 2 defenders there and a rotate coming in. JDC, so many angles to check. Does he expect it? Grimbo with the trade. Hyped with the kill, but still, they're not expecting Nix, and he'll finish off the round. Again within 1.
Yeah, Nick's very good positioning there at the end to have your teammate die. They don't think anyone else could be behind Oil Train, and well, they stand corrected. Nick's just securing the round there. And Big, they got some ideas. Very quick comms here in the freeze time.
You gotta make it quick. Big. Now they're in trouble when it comes to the finances. They want to make this a quick one, possibly. At least just send Crimbo towards Long Dog. Grim, tacked to 32 HP. Malzerk received some damage as well. And do they expect Grimbo? That's the question. So early, the swing does not happen, not just yet. Even though the flashes were raining in from T-Spawn.
Yeah, he's lost that time advantage that he might have had, but it's better if he just sort of plays with his team. Depends on what they're really going for. Also holding a very risky angle to be there on the left, but after he licks his opponent, he returns back. Now Crimbo has been activated. Hyped also found the entry for main. This is huge. Look at that push into connector as it gets smoked. Doesn't even matter at the end of the day. The trades, I mean, the entries were just gained normally, cleanly. And that's how Big get map point? Match point? Playoff point? Indeed it is.
Oh yeah. And so little money left for Complexity. No loss bonus for them. Barely a little money to fight with for survival in this best of 3. Of course, if they lose this match, if they lose this map, they're going to have another chance tomorrow against Bedboom, but you want to go through that group first. You don't want to face the likes of, well, Tai Lu and Lin Vision, who have been playing some lights-out Counter-Strike, to be completely honest. And look at this. 3 SMGs, 2 Deegs, barely any utility to work with. Complexity with the dumpster fire by, trying to keep themselves in this. Not the best start. SQB finds the opening pick. Halzerk down to half HP, and Big, they want to make the quarterfinals. JT might stop them with that Deeg. JDC, though, brings the frag back. And it's a man advantage for Big maintained.
This is not what you want here for Complexity. If you're already on a bad buy, now you're a man down. The saving grace right now, the sole saving grace, is that at least there's low HP on the other side. Maybe the MP9 and the Deagle can do something to put them in the grave. 4 of them around the corner going down it, but Sixie steps in the open, and that's where he gets traded. He's gonna be regretting that press of the W key, and it's JT to hold them back from B site. How many chances does he have? Without Halzerk, not many. He's fast on the rotate, and they're taking their sweet old time, finally going down ramp. JT looking at him, killing him, and Hype the last standing. Somehow JT has done it, and I don't
He needed
understand.
to step up. 19 frags for JT. And Hyped, tucking tail, going back. Saving that op for next round. We might be on the verge of overtime in this one as well.
Man, what was the thought process there for Big to freeze that way in Brown Halls? Surely they could have just ran down ramp, right?
Yeah, they don't have X-ray.
I know they don't have X-ray. It's just you already revealed yourself to be in B halls. Why give your opponent the extra time to rotate? Genuine
absolutely.
question, of course. I am by no means a professional. I am merely a
The
professional
thing is,
yapper.
something that does tend to happen sometimes, especially in some high pressure situations, is, and that happens on like every level of Counter-Strike, from major winners to top 150 in the world. You just stop for a moment, and that few seconds that takes you to get to a site is what is enough for a rotate to happen, a defender of a site to get ready, and you're not aware of that while you're on the server.
Time does flow differently in these kinds of scenarios. Usually that leads to every pause feeling like it's very long, so you start to be very sporadic, very fast and twitchy. But there is fight or flight, and there's also freeze. That's the third F. They chose that one, and they were punished, but one more opportunity to send the Yanks home. But this time, they got some proper guns.
You're saying that Complexity's home is the lower bracket? I mean, I wouldn't judge you for that.
When you think about it. It was at the major.
Let's
Not much
talk
done
about
there.
that.
Well, you know, I say that, but Big weren't even there, were they?
Yeah.
Haven't
No,
been to
they're
one
playing
since 21, 22?
They've been to one in that time. Complexity, though, they took a lot of map control so far. Big just standing there. So there's a lot of information gathered by Complexity. Solid positioning as well. They can really be ready for anything Big throws at them. And a backstab from Nyx. This is so dangerous, but Crimbo expects the timing, not the best, but Nyx does not want to swing. Now he hears the nades coming in, finds one and the other, and annihilates the main attackers. Sixie just behind the smoke, but Grim takes care of one. Hype trying to salvage something with QB to support, but so little time left on the clock, and the NA players are ready to receive. Grim is low, but does that matter? Sure as hell it does, because he's been blown up. But they can't get to the site. So many angles to check, and it's not gonna happen, not just yet. We're going to overtime.
Wow, 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 wow. How has this happened? Have the script writers gotten this lazy here, Luba? How have we seen the first map, right, on Dust 2, to get into a thrown overtime by complexity, of course, not closing it out when they reached the 12th, and now Big, after having a fantastic start, kind of doing the same as well? If the pattern repeats, complexity, you know, they lose the first round of overtime, but then they just make it a clean sweep from there.
Yeah, I mean, it's what the script says. I have it right here. Sorry for
These guys,
spoiling.
man. Yeah, I know, but like these guys just turned in the same piece of paper with the name switched out.
Maybe it was just ChatGPT writing the script.
Yeah. AI has ruined certain aspects of civilization.
Yeah, absolutely.
But hey,
all right,
at least we got Grok anyway. Going into
don't
overtime, of course, ladies and
Holy
gentlemen.
cow! That's a lot of damage dealt to JT and Halzerg, though Halzerg, that's not going to stop him. Forward positioning to take down Crimbo. Sixie lucky to be alive.
Very much lucky. Holding back the offense from Ivy. The bomb will not be turning them around. They are committed until the smoke lands, of course. And QB might be expecting this main aggression. It's his job to hold it back. And at this point, usually Complexity, they do take a step forward. They don't just freeze in there,
Yeah.
surely. But they will.
Not something that the textbook says, but yeah, with a man advantage, Complexity, more often than not, we've seen them trying to gain even more ground. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Well, they have the idea now. No one's behind A. Process of elimination says they're going B. And wouldn't you know it, Big are indeed going toward that second letter of the alphabet. Ready on ramp. Hopeful in heaven. JDC's going to try and help him out from there. Very telegraphed attack here. And it should be a slaughterhouse as they walk in. Absolutely is. Nyx, JT. They send them.
Yeah, no problem for Complexity. Played him like a fiddle. Knew everything what was going on before Big even did. Checked all the angles towards A. Rotated 4 players towards B. Even when you know what's going on, more often than not, you want to have some presence on the A-bomb side. Barely any maintained by Complexity, but it paid off, and they're in the lead. Not something we've said too many times.
And this was, you know, according to the script, supposed to be a lost round. So you
Yeah,
get
sorry,
into
I
overtime,
misread it.
and then they just won it. It's just they're not sticking to it. We'll see if they continue on that same path or not. Big are definitely exhausted after you know, playing in the late hours of the day. It is, of course, for those of you in other time zones, 20 past midnight where this tournament is being held in Belgrade, Serbia.
All right.
They have potentially one more map ahead of them, right? So, okay. Grim finds the initial.
Over JT once more, but that's going to cost him. Nyx, though, with the trade, maintaining the advantage. And Crimbo going deep. He might catch him off guard, and so he does. Does he expect the backstab, though? Yes, sir! And he takes down Sixie. Grim, finally, with an answer, courtesy of Complexity. It's a 2v2. How quick is Ultra? Quick enough to find one. It's a 1v1 through the fire and the flames. Grim goes and he dies, but he finds the round for his team.
Love Grim. Brings the trash talk. Sadly, doesn't scream it out loud like the rest of the guys. But sometimes just hyping up your own team, that's enough.
Absolutely. There's so much room for hype. There's a lot of Counter-Strike still left to be played in this tournament. We're still in the group stage, day 2. Until the usage, not going to hit his mark. What does Big have up their sleeve? They gotta dig deep. They cannot let Complexity get to 15.
All they need is that one successful entry to propel them into a victory. And Complexity's stacky approach to the A site might just bite them in the behind in this one if they don't catch on fast enough. Okay, this is the point of contact there. Grim has confirmed that he's behind A. Of course, QB surprises him by being on a slightly deeper off angle. Now, he's still suspected to be B, but what can you do when Hyped gets that kind of an entry? JDC helped him out as well, of course. He makes his way to the site. They won't know that there's still a presence behind the oil tanker here in the form of Nyx. It's just, he can't really do much out of this position without his teammates. Oh, he makes noise. That's gonna cost him.
JDC heard that. He knows exactly where Nyx is, and now it's completely confirmed. Bomb is ticking. Nyx is still trying to salvage something out of this round. He wants to go through the smoke, not gonna help him, as JDC annihilates his dome. Halsrick and Sixie, of course, they're gonna have to commit, but they're not gonna find anything here, and want to remain, not for long, if Tapson has anything to say about it. Sixie, though, finds 2, but there's so little time, not enough time for him to clutch out this round. It's 13 for Big, and Complexity not on map point just yet.
Exactly what they needed to happen here. It was by the skin of their teeth, but like I said, once you get that one entry, you get the lead. The rest of the round tends to just take care of itself. That was very lovely work they did from B. The correct call to also just get things a little bit faster paced. Not wait around for Complexity to clear out main and start rotating B in huge numbers. Those 2 or 3 players, they could take care of them easily. But now the sides have switched. And we'll see if Big still remember what it's like to play defense. They were very, very successful on that side.
Yeah, they were really good. Should they find a way to kind of translate that performance into overtime, well, this is going to be fun. But Complexity still have something to say about that. Maybe something with phase. They want to at least take control of the map as fast as possible. Upper Hall's taken, and now they want to make contact towards B, but Halsrick lost a lot of HP.
But look at Grim.
6 points of health.
On the other side of the map, he's managed to get his way out of main while the other guys were making noise in brown halls. He managed to slip through unnoticed. Hyped, of course, takes care of him in the end, and now it's the actual B take. Crimpo from the back of the bomb train! Multi-kill for him and QB, holding on to a B site that they may have thought was a fake the whole time.
Well done from the B-side defenders. You're quite often on the wrong foot when they try, when you see on the minimap that there's a T so deep on A.
Yeah, you start rotating immediately.
Of course. I mean, Grim, he made a lot of headway, but was unable to find the kill, and that's sort of what Complexity were counting on. 14 to 14, 28 rounds played, and nothing to separate them on train. Complexity, what do you got to show us on this T side? Well, JDC gets taken out. That's a good start.
A very, very lucky headshot there from Grim. Good idea to spam the smoke early on. Nasty angle from Tapson, looking for potential boosters, but little does he know, the majority of the team is going toward Ivy, where Big have opted not to put anyone. Well, maybe JDC was there, but he's dead now. Died a little closer to main.
The problem is,
yeah.
Once the CTs lose a player on train, then the A-bomb site, you know it's going to be lightly guarded simply due to the fact that there's so much ground to cover and only 2 players covering it. They need to find a foothold somewhere, the Germans do. As Complexity already quite deep from Ivy towards CT. This is going to be dangerous for Big, as they have so many angles to hold.
They could be considering now that it's a CT push. A massive game of information. There's technically more people on A than the ones going B, but with the bomb they go and they lose it in the spawn. Grimbo, can he guarantee it? Yes, he can. He can keep holding on to the C4 while his teammates tries to help him out, but Hyped, oh, he misses a flick. He definitely should have hit the vast majority of the time, but Grimbo keeps being strong. No triple for him, though. Grim gets them on match point. Well, map point, I suppose.
That was so close for Grimbo. Just a whisker away from a fantastic clutch.
Yeah, but Hype could
Complexity-
have also just hit the flick, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can say that about a couple of Biggs players. Still, Complexity on map point. Let's see if they can convert it right here and now, or are we going to see another run of overtime? More extra rounds, are they going to happen? Complexity want to bring out pace, and Grims finds a frag. QB, though, good on the trade. Still pressure piling, though. Hype breaks the smoke and finds a frag onto JT. A player towards Ivy. So still not safe, the big clan, and Hype not expecting it.
And a 3 versus 3 situation emerges with Nyx having the very, very deep control, deep behind enemy lines. He's scared of the CTs being in his vicinity, but we can see that that is very far from the truth. They've sort of taken the old adage of, well, if you lose map control somewhere, just go take other map control, and they sort of cocoon up in long dog / brown halls, anticipating, wait, if they go past us toward B, we kill them easily. If they go to A, they won't expect 3 of us in pop, surely. This is a very good mid-round adaptation from Big. Let's see if it works out.
40 seconds on the clock, and Crimbo quite deep. This is going to be a chaotic round to possibly end the map. Timing on JDC's side, and that's not just timing, that's intel. And he finds the kill as well. Backstab coming in, and a player going towards Connector. Not going to be an easy hold for Complexity. And they're just going to plant the bomb now. So much time for them to hold on to that bomb, and they're going to be, or rather have to be, perfect. Halzerk down. It's all down to Nyx. 1v3 on bomb. Train finds the first. Not enough for any more. We're going to meet, or rather see, more extra rounds on Train.
Absolutely what I wanted here. This Train keeps delivering some insane rounds. Just the insane T-half here in the overtime, right, from Complexity to bust out the sort of aggressive B, fake aggressive B into real aggressive B, and then for the last round, aggressive A. Unbridled aggression came out of them, but this time, you're gonna have to do it 3 more times, and I think you have to actually start diversifying your rounds a little bit, lest you get one-dimensional.
And how deep is your strat book at this point after playing 30 rounds of Train? That's a test for the in-game leaders. That's a test for the coaches. And both teams coming into this tournament with a new coach.
Looks like they'll be opting for, predictably no ops on T side and Hype with his. Complexity starting this one out very routinely, very defaulty.
That's a nice
Some
main and
predicted,
another
yeah.
to follow up. Grim out of the picture. Good utility usage for Big, and not the first time we've seen it on this map as well.
Deep control established, and once you have this, going A becomes a very difficult proposition. That's why they're stacking 3 on B at this point. Little do they know, Halzerk with the bomb is standing, floating in midair, of course.
Oh yeah,
That's how the game works.
naturally. You've never floated in midair in real life? Oh, JT. Contact with JDC. player tucked in main, burning away, somehow still alive and battle ready.
How?
He can't find him, and he's spending so much time while Hype and QB collect the frags, and JDC finds a double. Oh, Complexity, the woes of overtime.
Oh my god. How does JD... Okay, one, how does he survive there? 2 Molotovs came his way. He should have burned alive instantly. 2, how does they not spray him down in the corner where he decided to hide? There's not that many hiding places there. They could have just shot blindly and got him. 3, they both managed to die on the other side during said spray. Yeah, JDC. Some people make their own luck. Some people are just born lucky. I don't know. This guy has a mix of both. Incredibly entertaining stuff here. Big Clan, of course, getting the lead in this second round of overtime. As the second round is transpiring now.
Oof, a lot of damage. Self-mix. Just gets slapped by that op through the wall. Somehow still alive, or rather legged probably. QB down to 22. A lot of damage dealt so far. What's the plan for Complexity? You can't allow Big to start escaping. It's only a 1-round lead for the Germans, but that is always pickle when you're on the receiving end, especially after such an unlucky round Complexity have played.
And now, before anyone's even died, a bunch of low HP players usually favors the CTs because they got those M4s. Don't kill you with 1 bullet. Ozark, though, he kills with 1 bullet, multiple times, in fact. Out of Pop Dog, the top dog just shoots us off and basically gets the bomb site for his team right then and there.
Yeah, taps him. Little can he do, but maybe prolong that bomb plant, trying to see something over the smoke. Nobody presents themselves. And the thing is, Big still interested in this. Why the hell not? So much money. You can toss everything you got towards Complexity, but QB dies as well. And in a 2v5, the ambitions are not high.
Doesn't make much sense to save in overtime, right? You got all the money you need. You already won a round, so it's guaranteed. But going for the 2 versus 5, it's literally just pissing in the wind. It's a futile exercise.
Sidle mostly. Taps it, good only for 1. Maybe 16 both. That's a nice peek from Halzerk to end the round. 16 each, rather, and 1 more round left to be played before the sides are switched in our second run of overtime. We've seen, of course, 1 overtime as well on Dust 2, so these 2 teams, even though this is the second map, they played a lot of Counter-Strike, and we might even yet see a third.
Definitely wouldn't be surprised. Complexity managed to still pull this rabbit out of the hat. The individuals are insane. Halzerk chief among them. But in this round, his main attempt, his peak, didn't work. In fact, when he tried to take a random pot shot, QB sprays him through the smoke. So the lead in terms of players found for Big yet again. Blinds QB. Does a nice spray, does some damage, but hardly anything else gets achieved on Ivy for them.
See, he saw the boost. He knows there's somebody who's in the smoke. He's not going to spam it, though. He doesn't want to run out of bullets. He's running through the smoke. That is suicidal, but that might pay dividends. Look at that. Sixie awaits.
Yeah, it did
Taps
not
and
pay
pound a
dividends.
frag.
He had to pay them, but Hyped, he had the info at least. He didn't die for nothing, right? I've managed to get one off the back of that info. Now, further info has been revealed. This is a hit. It's an A hit, at least for the next 20 or so seconds, and you're actually going to walk the smoke.
Yeah.
You're actually
Big players, they're keeping their cool. They're still around the site. They're ready to receive, but will the timing be on their side? Timing is everything. And Tapson finds a frag and the other. It's a 1-round lead for Big as the teams switch sides again.
Well, let's not forget, the CT side was much stronger for them. It gets complicated when it's time to start attacking.
Let's see what they got on that attacking side. Crimbo seems worried. Let's see how ready they are. 1 round, and you're on 2 match points.
Shame we're not getting the player audio anymore. We had too much fun with it, Luba. We flew too close to the sun.
Yeah, the production team was like, just cut it. These 2 guys, they're gonna get us canceled at some point.
Never mind the stuff Grin was saying. Holy.
I'm always a fan of that.
Oh, for sure.
I hope the players can hear each other, but it doesn't seem likely because we did not hear a lot of screams in the player cams. Usually you want to be loud when the opposing team can hear you and everything that's going on. Back in the action we go. Big on the attacking side. Let's see if that can get to that magic number 18. Of course, 19 necessary to win the map.
A little bit of contact toward B just to force the grenades out of their opponent's pockets. But of course, they're still playing the older style of being heavily stacked up on the A site. Meanwhile, Sixie has rotated heavily into B now, so that is no longer the case. Big really keeping their cards close to their chest, but Nix, he wants to have a peek, he wants to have a look. What do you got? A flush? A pair of aces?
2 and a 7.
7
so
and a
far.
2? Oh, wow, we
Yeah.
both said 2 and 7.
In different order, yeah. But he might get a chance to get a couple of aces up his sleeve should Big go toward this side, and it seems like that is still the plan. A fake towards A using utility. What's the plan for Big now? Going through the smoke with Scrimbo. Nick's ready to receive the easiest frag of his life. Now Big want to strike, but ooh, they're so far away from each other, and Nix is having a field day collecting the kills. 1v5, QB ain't gonna make it. And the score is tied again.
Man, props to Nix for once again giving us a masterclass of that position. Being behind the bomb train as they're coming down ramp and from heaven, there's just something about it. You can just feel the highlight happening as he's holding that angle. And then when it actually transpires, ain't nothing like it. But let's take a look at the kill counts. We haven't done that in a while. It's literally just Crimbo and QB kind of leading the pack, and everyone else stuck in that 21 to 24 kill range. After this many rounds, that is basically a rounding error, the difference.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, at this point of a map, do you have 35 kills or 15? That doesn't really make a difference as long as you find a few crucial kills that brings you those all-important rounds. That's what makes the biggest difference.
Yeah.
Everything is tied up. One of these teams is going to be on map point. Big collects this round. It's going to be match point to go along with it. Crimbo looking for an opening and tags Nix down to 40 HP. Big, you want to make it quick now that you've dealt some damage? Not going to be the case. At least not now.
So many piled up here. They know the defense is bad. But they're waiting slightly longer than I would like them to. Now they swing, now they see, but they don't know about Nix behind Thomas the Tank Engine over here. Downs the bomb, Sixie helps, and the attack has been completely nullified. Complexity yet again find that point, unless Hyped can do something. Of course he couldn't, he was stuck in heaven, and QB, he's stuck far away from the bomb.
Yeah, as far as he's concerned, he could be on dust too. Quite far away, and so many gun barrels will be pointing at him as soon as he reveals his location. Nix just a solid angle to spot what's going on, and they know exactly where the last German is.
Man.
Look ready to receive with that up. It's just a matter of time when QB is dead. It's 18 for Complexity, another map point, another opportunity to take us to map number 3.
Production has yet again blessed us with player mics. Thank you guys very much. Much needed. But yeah, Big. A little bit disappointed in them there, not gonna lie. That their T efforts kind of boil down to that. I know it's called the B stream where we are right now, but you don't have to keep going B all the time.
Alright, Big. You want to save yourselves on this map. You had a chance to take it. You had a chance to take the entire best of 3. Now, fighting to not go to nuke. And that would be exhausting, but it seems like it's going to be the case as JT finds 2 towards Long Dog, and it's a man advantage for Complexity. Big just standing and hoping that maybe they can catch somebody off guard. Not going to happen. Complexity with the lead, and this time, they don't want to force the issue. They're just going to wait.
Because they know they're pushing this one to a 3rd map. In their minds, it is pretty much guaranteed, but that's when things get the most dangerous. That's when you start slipping, taking things for granted, losing focus in the most important part of the map so far. You're
They're
so
not going to go
close.
to B. You said it.
No. Yeah, but
Not going to be.
not
seems
when
to
there's
be
3 guys there. Come on, guys. I thought that went without saying.
a bad idea, and a slaughter fest awaits.
Oh!
Complexity players are ready. JT finds the 3rd of this round, and Sixie, he thought about going to B, but now he's rotated back, hyped. What can you do, my friend? So little time, so little HP. We're going to map number 3 to decide our 4th quarter finalist of Fissure Playground 1.
a storied history we have, especially in Counter-Strike, right? It's not one of those sports that is here today, gone tomorrow. For Pete's sake, on Big, how long has Tapson even been on this team? 8.5 years, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that is just longer than some esports have been alive.
He was, what, 22 when he joined the team? He's 30 now? Jesus.
Yeah.
Many
Think he'd be older by
iterations
now.
of Big came and went, but Tapson is the only constant figure. Let's see if he can push them to the playoffs, and that would be so important for them. The 9th round concludes, and it seems that Big will be choosing the side. Of course, it is expected for it to be the CT side, right?
There's no points for guessing that one, Yuba, I'm afraid. That was a 0-point question. Of course, they're going to be picking the CT side, and Complexity turned their notes to nuke CT. Doesn't look like there's that much ink on that paper. It's not very big lettering, but there's a lot of spacing.
Well, it's so you don't really get to see it. They try to make it a small font so you can't see it on camera and know what their game plan is.
It probably contains very situational sort of information. In this new era of CS, we started just having very strong preparation for every team, and this one, of course, you know what group you're in, you could prepare for all your opponents, but it all comes down to this. If you can make it to the playoffs, you're gonna have to beat one of these teams here, and the pistol round so far tied up in terms of player count, but the positioning, the fact that you have ramp control, that gives you some options if you're Complexity.
Yeah, absolutely. Complexity can stretch their legs a little bit. JDC trying to gather some intel toward outside, but Tapson, he already knows he's going to be under threat. Those dualies are going to have to fire away. Opponents coming from both sides, unable to find anything is Tapson. So it's a man advantage for Complexity on the B side. Unlocked QB. It's imperative for him to find this kill. Not going to happen though. JDC only with one, and Hyped actually finds a kill, so he might still have a chance in this. The bomb has just been planted. It's a 1v2. They're going to try and double team him at some point, but they can take their sweet time and just spend as much time waiting for Hype to approach the site.
Well, you know what? They're going to be waiting for a while because he is very much far away. He actually thought it was A? I was already making like a headcanon in my head that he was just saving the 100% armor because he thinks he doesn't have a chance in a 1v2, but okay.
Yeah, now he doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't have time either. I don't know what he's looking for. Should have saved the armor. Quit while you're ahead.
It's alright.
Might take
He's
some
gonna
bomb
make it.
damage. He survives it. But the bomb damage destroys his armor, so my point stands. What an unfortunate set of circumstances there, but it was very much deserved for the side of Complexity. They did find the trades they needed to.
Absolutely. It's a good start for Complexity. You can already see a smirk on Grimm's face. A lot more. Does that smile need to happen in order for Complexity to book their ticket to the quarterfinals? Big opting for a force buy. Of course, is to be expected from the CT side on Big. So many close angles and the MP9 being what it is. Of course, before we get the new patch in competitive Counter-Strike, it is so dangerous on close and, to be honest, mid-range as well. But rifles in the hands of Complexity. They have the weaponry advantage, and they're already taking full control of Yard. This is not going to be easy for Big to maintain.
So they try to be preemptive with this one. You need some presence in heaven. Might as well make it double. Few attempts to get the jump right, but in the end, however, oh, okay. I thought Tapson was going to be very disadvantaged there. No cover, no rifle, no problem. Just headshots Grimm. He wasn't blinded by the reflection at all.
Grimbo finds a kill. Now Complexity, they're in trouble. The big players, they can retrieve the rifles and they can muster up a retake here. Of course, they're missing a kit, but still have a few pieces of utility to work with, and This is not going to be easy for Complexity to hold a deep lurk that could be inconsequential. Nick's in trouble, but finds a double. And there's Halzerk on the trade. It's a 2v2, and things are under Complexity's control. They lost a lot of guns, but they gained the round.
That was very unexpected for them to keep a hold of it. With Galil's especially, when a whole bunch of enemies just appear on your screen at once and you're supposed to control that spray, it really is a lot harder than it looks, but easy for Nyx, especially if Halzerk was around to help him out. That was huge from him, and of course JT holding the back the entire time. Even with the man disadvantage like that, he still thinks to cut off rotates from ramp. We're on to the next round here, of course, with Big on the economic round. Person's hiding on top of hut, not for long. A-side falls basically for free.
Yeah. Good clean take of the A-bomb side by Complexity. It wasn't anti-equal. It is to be expected, but you never know what's going to happen. Let's remember Train. They started off quite well there as well, but they've lost a lot of guns in those early rounds that led to Big taking the lead.
Yeah, let's
Train is
remember
done
Dust
and
2 as
dusted.
well.
It's forgotten. Yeah, absolutely.
Same thing happened. One team gets a very strong start, and then you have no idea where it's going to be going in the end. But this round is no mystery. Crimbo, survive with the armor. Thank you very much. Everyone in their respective spawns. From whence they came, they shall remain until they can play again. Which is right now.
Luckily for them.
Don't have to
Gonna
wait
have a
long.
buy.
Fucking good door with Nick. I want you to instantly smoke ban, throw some flashes out, wait, and then walk out. I'm gonna rush into mini. Alright, do you want me to go down secret?
I'm trying to hear what JT is saying. I heard a few words here and there, but unable to hear everything, sadly.
Yeah, speak up, JT. Come on.
Seriously, come
Do
on.
us a
think
solid.
Think of us a little bit. We're working here. All right.
Trying to, anyway.
Utility there. Big. Oh, there's JT on the flank, hyped a bit late to the party, and only finds a trade instead of saving his teammate. Crimbo takes care of Nyx, but ooh, that timing was not optimal, and Tapson's gonna get an easy kill. Crimbo takes care of Grim and Halzerk in a 1v4 with an all-to-do, but when life closes a door, you open it right back with shots and somehow surviving in the end, finding only one. And that's Big getting on board.
Was in der Tür passiert, welche Smokes, was möglich ist. Come on, full focus, full Energie, Alter.
Oh, full focus, full Energie, Leute.
We know what that means.
Exactly.
And this,
Because
at
they're
least I
going to
get
need the focus,
impression.
honestly. Like, I don't know if I'm projecting, but the players seem quite tired after playing those two maps that both went into, you know, single or double overtime. This round definitely was very messy. We'll see if the trend continues or if that was just an outlier.
Possibility, of course. Hyped, already taken care of. And that's a +1 for Complexity. They're finding an opening already. Barely seeing a player. Crimbo just behind the smoke, and that smoke's gonna fade soon enough. What's the plan for Cole? Send JT a kill, and it's working out quite well. And Sixie takes care of Dapson as well, and that's round over. Big, completely unexpecting that aggression from Complexity.
Blink and you miss it. If you catch your enemy slipping, might as well just play slightly faster. Never see it coming, especially on Nuke. Infamously methodical map. Definitely disappointing for JDC and Crimbo to not be able to participate really in this round. Just gonna have to play hide and go seek.
Number 4 for Complexity. They're taking control
Ooh.
of this match. JDC took care of Halsworth. That's a bit of damage dealt. The op
Still,
is gonna
most
get
of the team
transferred
survives.
to the next round. No big issues for that side. The question is, The team that does is, well, in fact, big. They are going to have to think about things, consider their options. Scrum calls for a timeout. What has he got?
I don't know, but I think Halzer's going to have to replenish his coffee. He's been drinking from the same cup, and he tilted it so high up, I think he needs a new one.
He's playing to look over the swing.
Yeah,
They
it's
got
empty
coffee
now.
this late in the evening, or rather night.
You know, they are on gamer time, you know. Obviously, they're used to being up at 1 a.m. These are baby hours. But at a tournament, you kind of do have to wake up at like a humane hour. But hey, if you want to go to the tournament yourself, check out the playoffs of Fisher Playground 1 CS. Well, if you're in Belgrade, you're in luck. Between July 18th and 20th, that's this weekend, you get to go there, watch the games live, see the players, meet the players. Wow, I wish I could go there. How can I, Servant? Well, you can type !ticket into chat and check it out for yourself. They're quite reasonably priced, and let's get right into this round, dude. But Tapson already found one outside.
Ooh, do they expect Crimbo? The answer is no, and he finds a double. Nothing Halzer can do. Trying just to wide swing him into P250 is going to do its part, but he's going to find, or rather have to find, more where that came from, as that's the single kill Complexity found in this round.
Sneaking down B, though. They will get a bomb plant. Unless Tabson has something to say about it, and of course he does. But it's in
Big
German, so I
brain
don't understand
Tabson.
it.
Always trying to find a flank, and, well, funnily enough, quite successful at it. So many times before. JDC puts the finishing touches on number 2 for Big. They're not going to let Complexity run away with this.
Hör zu, lass uns nachspielen, und wenn wir die Stage 1 geblockt haben, sollten wir
Body scrubber did play shot. Let's get AKs, guys. Let's fire up. Go JKs, smoke red.
Everyone keeping their voices low. Locking in.
I'm gonna Jake him smoke outside.
The concentration is rising. QB, by the way, yet to frag, yet to assist. 3 rounds away from being a James Bond. He's gonna have to get that fixed up. Let's see if this round is his. Full buy, of course, for the side of Big, but a bit of a different story on Complexity.
Absolutely.
They will be sneaking out ramp. Look at that.
Ooh, juicy. It's gonna be fun. And Halzer domes Crimbo. Good trade, fast trade. Taps in though. Easy frag, easy as you like as JT hits the deck. They've gathered some map control though. Can JDC stop them? The answer is yes. Halzer dead. Ooh, unable to finish Sixie though.
And what do you do once this kind of position has been established? Turn around. You can go lobby, you can go heaven. Going B would be a mistake at this point. And Hyped can't really stop your rotates, so they successfully scaled the ladder, get into the A site. And once the bomb is planted, they can take their pick of after plant positions. It's just your options are quite limited on the A site. You might want to clog up the likely rotate spot of the vent first of all. But we can see through the walls, and we can see that it's going to be mainly through main where they will enter the retake.
This is still an active round. Big. They have a lot of util to work with. Nix has to jump down on the side. That's going to cost him a little bit of HP. Needs to find the next frag. Six there as a Joker, but miss spray means is dead, and QB collects 2. Big. Only 1 round away from tying up the scoreline.
There you go. QB finally gets on that scoreboard with 2 huge kills to retake the site. Big are not going to be letting that one slip.
Next time,
Ooh, the tension is palpable. After playing 3 sets of overtime in the past 2 maps, of course, the loser does have another chance, but I've mentioned that before. You want to be that first team that goes through a group Simply gives you, on paper, maybe an easier opponent in the quarterfinals. Makes you have bigger chances to go deeper in the tournament.
Man, let's not forget, if you lose this one, you still have to beat BetBoom.
Yeah. Might still be a
No
task,
easy
as we've
task.
seen some nice things from BetBoom in the 2 best-of-3s they've played so far.
Yes, Heroic gave us quite a show against them. Wasn't this close, but it was, you know, the vibes were there.
Oh, yeah.
Heroic definitely could have done something, but as they said in the closing interview, they kind of weren't prepared for Ancient. Wasn't really something they wanted to play. Grim said that they threw him a curveball a little bit. Oh, sorry. But
All right.
there you go. The pistol's successful outside, managing to convert one of them into a rifle.
Yeah, and Hype get a
Ooh.
little quick though, but he's gonna get traded back, and it's still a 3-on-3. And can they get that rifle? That's the question. Player in secret, not to be expected. So it's just gonna be a cleanup, but losing 2 players in the process, not a big issue for Big's economy.
Kannst du hart gehen mit Ave mal? Ja, sowas mal, ein bisschen Hand mit diesen Bots. Okay, Matze? Ich geh Radio.
But wonderful damage
Sag gleich dann
nonetheless.
so Pain zu spielen einfach, okay? Ja.
And tying up the scoreboard as well, of course. As we head into a round where Complexity are primarily standing over there in lobby. A little bit of presence outside. Makes you think it's going to be an A pinch. Wait the hell. Grim somehow finding a triple entry. Has the Grim Reaper joined the server? I believe so. And Big's time has come.
And Grimbo alone in an island. Can't really do anything here. He's gonna be number 5 for Complexity, and Grim, well, you find yourself facing a wall, why not just go through it? And Grim's done just that. Another lead for his team in this
Yeah,
deciding
using that.
map of today.
Using that long, long sickle, did Grim. 2 guys in hut. And I believe the other guy was on top of hut or something. Difficult shots to make. The money of Big will be dwindling, but we want at least this one guy to stay alive to compensate for Tapson's slightly lower economy than the others.
Yeah, they're gonna have a really good bite coming into the next one, so Complexity are gonna have to get a few more rounds to break Big's economy. At that point, Complexity are gonna be in a really good position when it comes to their rounds advantage, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. So far, this best of 3 has given all and more.
Yeah.
Low spot affair on the first 2 maps. Why not maintain that on Nuke? Absolutely. Ready for something. Hype definitely is, as he finds a kill. And, ooh, I was just going to say still alive, as Sixie, through the smoke, manages to catch him. Bring this back into a 4v4. Now, through the smoke, Complexity go. QB took care of Nyx, but still, the main part of Complexity's attack is ready to strike, though Tapson finds JT's head, and JDC sees the shadow. Grim, the last alive, not gonna stand a chance. And again, Big bring it back.
It looked so good when they managed to open it up toward Hyped again. I was going to criticize him, like, you keep getting kills outside, but you keep getting traded instantly. That's not really ideal. However, his team seems to adapt to it quite quickly, not letting Complexity get any kind of a foothold outside.
And now, a shoddy buy in the hands of Complexity. They want to save money for that last round. They're going to have a hero AK. Other players just on pistols. Do you want to try something quicker? Speed has been multiple rounds so far, but Grimbo, that's a spray and a half. Unable to find number 4, but still, damage dealt and Grim taken care of. Halzer did manage to get his hands on a rifle, but no Kevlar, and 65 points of health means that really he doesn't stand a chance against the full Tapson. And there you go, Big in the lead.
with a very nice economic cushion to catch them should they start losing rounds.
They have been afraid of the JPS so far.
What's the plan, JT? We heard him speak. Can they get to a tied result at the half? I mean, all things considered, if Complexity get to number 6 after their T-side half of Nuke, that's something you can really be happy with. Could have been better, since they've had the lead for the majority of this first half, but still it is a quite solid result, no matter what.
There are sides, 2 halves to play, and one of them is usually less successful than the other. But hey, their temporary coach Mitter hopefully has some nice adaptations that they can incorporate into their gameplay. Though I'm not seeing much. It's still going to be outside presence. They just say, hey Grim, you remember when you got 3 kills just entering A? Go do that again.
Why the hell not? But now he's on less than 50 HP. Not going to be so easy this time around. Flashes all around, and Alzerk and Nyx find the opening kills, but it's a 3 for 3. Still a chance for both sides. JT, what's the plan for him now? The bomb is isolated, and that might spell danger. Grim trying to find a foothold to the side while his captain goes towards heaven. Timing working for Grim, but not the spray, as Sapson hits his 12th kill of this map. JT. Especially in those
Them's
like,
be the vibes.
yeah,
But we can see that they have some
scenarios.
plans for this one. Tapson destroyed the windows. He's going to be throwing multiple grenades. While there's a smoke grenade, if I'm not mistaken, landed outside. Misdirection, of course, because they will be making contact toward A. QB finds the entry. They're expecting the push from ramp. This has so many layers to it. And it's a layer cake that Big seemed to be feasting on. JDC with 2, and he even confirms the 3rd. That is a godly pistol from Big.
Oh, and Complexity, they thought they had their number. 3 pairs of dualies coming into this pistol round. That was not enough. JDC, that was impressive, and they cleaned out Lobby the Tees. That's a 3-round lead for Big, a chance to extend it.
Mike, you go double knee back door.
That was downright disgusting what Big just did to them. Read every single move. And you can't really do that much on pistols, that's why I'm impressed. And pistols is all they got on the Complexity end. 5.7s to be exact. They're pretty good up close. Alzerk trying to get some long-range scouts. He can see them if they cross from heaven. Not if they're standing close to the smokes, however. But once they start spraying, kind of give away their positions a little bit. Academic, of course, they won't be engaging him that much. Just going down secret, trying to take that B nice and fast while there's no CTs about.
And so many players committing to B with rifles against pistols. That could be dangerous. Not going to happen this time around, as the Complexity mostly situated on A. A rotate should come towards Splitter at some point, but at that time, Big, they're already going to get a bomb plant, and does it even matter? If you're Complexity, you just want to keep what you got, pose a threat in the next one where you're not going to spend any money.
Exactly. This is a gamble stack, as we call it in the biz. And they've just figured out what's going on here. Do you go for any exits, perhaps? Because some of the 5.7s, they're not that valuable. I know they have armor helmet, right? Some of the guys without helmet, you can just go and look. Maybe take an AK for free into the next. Nuke has a very wide bomb radius, right?
If you want to go so deep, then Halzerk drops a scout to his teammate and tries to do something just with the USP. Maybe catch somebody off guard, steal a gun, but I don't think anybody's delving too deep into that.
Well,
it's gonna be
you're right there. They got T-spawn and CT spawn covered. You don't see that one every day. The T's, of course, all of them saving in secret. The 3 points on the map that are far enough away from the bomb site to not deal any damage.
And that's insane, honestly. Like, I'm sort of a fan of it because you're always questioning yourself, especially if you're on low HP. Are you going to survive the bomb radius? But sometimes it's just so annoying, man.
But you know what? Complete non sequitur, but it is just another half by complexity. Wait, unless it's a fast round. Could it be?
See what's going to happen here.
Grimbo, yeah. He's just walking out.
Why not?
Oh, steal on this guy.
He wants to find the kills, though Grim brings him right back. QB maintains an advantage, though advantage short-lived. It's still a 3-on-3, and with Grim getting a hold of a Galil, it's not looking completely safe. Big. No, Halzerk's just going to walk into Taps and Crosshair. And Nyx is so low, so Big still are in a good position. One thing to note, Nyx has a kit. That's something that may come in handy at some point.
I admire your optimism, Yuba. It is inspiring, but Big, they do have control of a bomb site. They don't have the bomb yet. They kind of left it outside a little bit. It's been cooking in the sun. But meanwhile, JDC just spots them outside, kills them nice and easy, and the round was not even close. Big pick up their 10th, man. This is double digits on the final map. And they're on the less favored side, so this lead is actually important. It could get whittled down, but Complexity need to find an answer, and they need money, obviously. After this eco, they will have gotten it. I can't wait to see what they do with it.
Well, let's find out. Complexity, this is a must-win round, otherwise Big could be in a position where you can't really find a comeback, not so easily as it was on the previous map. I think they only needed to collect 2 rounds this time. Big is threatening. More than just threatening.
They're waiting for a mistake. Hoping the Complexity is going to be overextending. Not today. Ooh. A few pot shots through Hut, though. Those do connect.
Yeah, 13 HP for Hype. He's going to have to be real careful. Ooh, and a chunky nade to the legs of QB. That's going to hit him a little bit. That's going to hurt Big. A late take of the outside.
I'm a fan.
Oh,
and non-standard smokes as well. Look at that. It's like they're faking going down secret.
Yeah.
Or they're actually they're actually going to be doing it. No. Close to main is JDC, and JT is going to see the shadow. It's been confirmed. He knows there's someone there. But they don't have any idea about JT.
Yeah,
he has
the mind
patience.
games
He
are in
knows.
play.
Whoa!
Oh, just dancing around the corner. This is going to be interesting. Calm before the storm, but there's so little time left on the clock. Big has been milking this clock for a while. QB connects, but they need to find more. Grim holding the line and finding 3. Looks for more, not going to find it though. And Halzerk ready to pounce, ready to secure this round. That's going to happen. A full house from Grim and Halzerk to secure a round for Complexity.
Beautiful work there. Just when I thought they had outgamed JT, like playing the patience game perfectly, They walk out of main thinking they got the site, and there is the Grim Reaper yet again. Had so much impact on the T side on this site. And now that he's on the other team, well, he's just a mercenary for hire. He gets the job done no matter what side of the aisle he plays on.
Got money on Big, not looking its best, as Hyped needed to go back to the Tech 9. Might actually give him second wind, as he's been struggling throughout this map. 6 frags only after they finished their CP half. Grim
Just
only
sending
good
it out
for one.
there.
The attack commences. JT finds one and able to survive. Lives to fight another moment. Sixie, good positioning, and he takes the bomb down. Now this complicates the situation for Big. Nyx might have a chance to strike, but Crimbo is waiting for him. And now it's just a question of who's gonna make the mistake first. But Big, they're the ones that need to make the next play, and play made by Hyped. That's gonna alleviate some of the pressure. What's the plan for Complexity? Do you want to gain some intel?
I mean, you just kind of want to have a little bit of a peek. But now Crimbo's gotten the high ground. It's over, Anakin. Whoa. But he can't shoot.
Oh.
He's shooting like a stormtrooper.
Didn't look so well. And that's 7 for Complexity. They're crawling back into this.
Yeah, they're getting shaky. You can tell this isn't the same clean Counter-Strike we saw toward the beginning of this matchup. But it's a very exciting one indeed. That A site was wide open for business. Could have been anyone's game. This round's going to be a little bit more predictable, however. The eco has come on us. Reared its head yet again. And I don't want to play outside the blocks all that often. Even Crimbo's hands didn't do much. Halzerk gets a nice collat, a triple. Why not? Why not, Halzerk?
Well done, and QB. Well, if it were a face-it match, I'd just tell him, go die, man. Like, stop wasting everybody's time.
Yeah, vote kick. Guys, F1. Purpel
Hey,
is trolling.
you can see it in his eyes. He knows. He's doomed.
Production's still going strong.
Yeah, good job, production. There's no way to get the wind out of their sails. They've been working for, what, 13 hours so far? It's a long day at work.
It's been a hot minute, yeah. We get to only experience half of the action here. But the day has delivered quite a lot of action indeed. A strong lead from Big, whittling away now, as Complexity are catching up. Just 2 away.
Yeah, slowly but surely we got Complexity making their way back into this one. Only 2 rounds left to go to tie up the result. And just 3 rounds ago, I was saying that they were in a situation where Big could get to number 12 already. Doesn't seem so easy anymore, as Complexity have struck back. Halzerk on 18 frags. He has been playing quite well for Complexity so far. Scarcely seeing a bad map from him. And a player known to be inconsistent at times this tournament actually has been quite consistent from him. A lot of good numbers on most of the maps played.
Let's play this 19th round now. The full buy gonna be deciding where the future rounds will go. QB just sending it out. Balls to the wall, getting the entries, but that was short-lived, the victory feeling.
Oh, yeah.
He's made his way all the way around HUD and gets killed. And now lobby, impossible to clean up the taps, and he is surrounded. And they won't be letting this one go.
And you can see Mither, he's happy with what happened. That was an outplay from Complexity, a lobby crunch when Big least expected it. And even though they crunched lobby, they managed to keep A safe for the meanwhile. And there was little Big could do.
They're in their heads now. Living there rent-free. But Big, they still got some tricks up their sleeve. They're walking into a half-buy with smokes being thrown on the floor and everything, so must have some kind of a plan to work off of. A little bit of outside presence shown, but also Crimbo holding down lobby. Well, looking for another one of those crunches you were talking about.
Complexity, way too smart to fall for that. Why crunch lobby when you know that your opponents are wielding Tech 9s? You don't want to come into their faces. They might just destroy yours. Molly ready, courtesy of Hyped. Seems like an A push that Big is considering. Just waiting for the smoke to dissipate, waiting for the utility to fade, but Complexity, they have a lot of utility left. Well, not anymore, as they've used most of it. No smokes, no mollies. Now is the time for Big to strike. Let's see if these pistols can do some damage. The attack comes in. Sixie finds the first kill. Big, they're quite slow, and that attack does not seem to be having teeth as they're getting slaughtered. And JP, he doesn't care. He'll take Grim as well. A clean round from Complexity.
And Complexity are still grimming ear to ear, as you said. I would be happy as well. In a day that's contained pretty much nothing but comebacks. Third comeback in the third round in a row here. This one is now completely open-ended. No one's coming back anymore. Well, maybe Big is, because they're way behind on money. These are going to be very hard rounds. And again, Complexity on the CT side. That's the easier side to play on, so good luck, Chuck. Looks like Grim has already taken care of one of the players. I was toward the A site. Meanwhile, Hyped gets blown off of Twinkie. Had to use the American call out for Silo, of course, because
Twinkie?
Yeah, they call it
Are
Twinkie.
you kidding me?
Yeah, no, it's. I know it sounds like a parody, like, oh,
right.
the American call out is about food, but yeah, trust me, man, it is. Chat, back me up here.
Jesus Christ! After hearing that NA players call it Twinkie, I'm rooting for Big now, though.
You might
Not
have
gonna
started
happen,
to
it
back that
seems.
horse a little bit late there, Luba.
Yep. Yeah.
It's not looking too hot for him, not gonna lie.
They're hemorrhaging. They're in trouble. This full buy basically brought us all the action, all the excitement, well, of an eco. And Crimbo, he's just gonna save that rifle. Big, you had your chance. Multiple chances, rather. 2 on Train, 2 match points wasted, and on Nuke, a solid lead. But now Complexity get that 1 round advantage and 2 rounds necessary for a final. Sixie Goomba stops Crimbo and not gonna even let him hold on to that rifle. Now you can see a lot of noise made from Complexity, and Big, they seem down in the dumps.
Yeah, it's been like that for a while. One last timeout here to potentially cause a little bit of a stir. Get something going for the German side. While the Americans in chat did come back with a nice range of responses. Some of them are saying no one calls it Twinkie. Other people are saying they either call it Twinkie or Marshmallow.
Yeah,
So,
I've heard of Marshmallow. I did not hear Twinkie. And also, it's not mini Americans, it's main. Thank you very much.
yeah, it's not mini, come on.
Call it what you will. I don't really care. I just like to stir things.
Obviously. It's fun to be elitist about, like, nonsensical things, such
Completely
as...
unimportant things. Like, I'm never going to be in a situation to play, like, Face It with some American players, and then we're going to have trouble with callouts. All right,
Absolutely
pistols
not.
and an AK for Big, and Aldrin hits the shot, though. Can't escape with the op, so it's going to be grabbed by Tapson. Still trouble for Complexity, even though Big had a pretty dumpster fire buy coming into this one, trying to save money for the next round.
Yeah, but that timeout must have helped. Gave him that wind in the sail they required. lost QB now, but they can still salvage this round. Nick's outside. Oh, he's just so quick on those flicks. Clicks the head one by one, and it's JDC, the last one left alive. And yeah, they still have money next, you know, so they will be doing yet another comeback attempt today. But hey, historically they've been successful, so many opportunities for a win. Not in this round for JDC, however. If he walks down here, he is most likely dead from window, and if he by some miracle plants the bomb, surely they retake him. But he does get past the window, so there you go. That's check one crossed.
There's a smoke. Gonna try and plant the bomb and maybe bait somebody out. Still has enough time for that. He's just gonna stick it, and that's not gonna help. That HE just gonna take a little bit more damage from him. An easy job for Sixie. 2 match points complexity.
But some money at least gained, so there should be absolutely zero problems financially for Big. If they got a plan, if that plan's good enough, it has a potential to work. 2 times in a row required, of course, to get us into overtime, while local time is starting to reach the 2 a.m. mark. But these are gamer hours, don't forget. These elite gamers came here to play. They came here to qualify for a LAN playoff. One of these teams is going to qualify. The other one's going to be taking on Bet Boom tomorrow. Let's see who's going to be sleeping easy.
Let's find out. Big, you gotta chain together too just to get the overtime, and that's not gonna happen. Not with Halzerk hitting the flicks. It's a man advantage for complexity, and maybe he wants more. Missed shot from Hype, though JDC actually gets the head of JT. So it's still a 4v4, so defense might be spread thin. A lurk might actually happen. Not going to be the case just yet. Sixie brought down to 18 HP. Big, they're still fighting, kicking and screaming in this one. And Halzerk, well, he's burning alive. Lost 80 HP in an attempt to find another kill outside. Big crawling towards B. A rotate from CT players already happening, and Grim's lurk I don't think is going to pay dividends, but a lurk from the T's actually might do something. Crimbo just ready to pounce as soon as his teammates make some noise.
Or just waiting for rotates up there to kill them as they go down vents. Either way, the main part of the attack is going to be what you want to keep your eyes on. 3 of them at single door. Going to be busting it open, not spotting the lone CT on site, and there's one on ramp as well. Halzerk didn't manage to clip him, but he knows the bomb's being planted, and that's when Niggs goes out, and that's the killing punch. Perhaps only 2 Germans left, and Halzerk, he's killing them all. Just taps in, of course, but it's not going to be enough. Complexity, after a grueling best of 3, managed to pick up the win.
Yeah, obviously it's called Twinkie in the end. Complexity get the W, and Big, oh, they seem so sad after what happened. They had their chance. This is not what they were looking for.
No, but I'm glad they gave us the show they did, right? It was an absolutely spectacular best of 3 to witness, and it was very much worth the wait. It didn't go into overtime on Nuke, unfortunately. You know, we would have liked that. Keep the streak going. Go from single to double to triple overtime. Would have been cool, but regardless, just congratulations to both teams. That's all I'm going to say, really.
Yeah, I mean, they've shown some good Counter-Strike. At the end of the day, it was flawed as to be expected, especially such late at night and with teams still adjusting to new coaches. But was it entertaining? Yeah, I was sure as hell entertained by this best of 3, and I hope that both teams actually make it to the quarterfinals. Sorry, Bet Boom, but they've brought us so much excitement in this match, and it's going to be interesting to see, of course. Complexity making it to the quarterfinals big. They're going to have to fight off against BetBoom to get their chance to play in front of a crowd in the Sava Center. And at the end of the day, when you count all your chickens, Complexity was just a little bit better. Even on that first map, of course, Halser going nuclear and Complexity unable to get it. It's just one of those things where Big, they had a chance. They had more than one opportunity to go through, but you got to use your chances.
You absolutely do. And you know what? Halzerg did end up going nuclear again on, appropriately enough, Nuke. 23 kills for him in the end, top fragging among everyone else as always. And of course there was Grim with all of those, not just putting up numbers, guys, getting a ton of assists as well, and very, very important entry kills. We remember that triple entry that basically just won him the round.
Absolutely. I mean, he did make more than one good play throughout this map and sort of tipped the scales in the favor of Complexity, which it wasn't an easy task. I mean, Big had a really solid first half, and then Complexity seemed to be capitulating at some point, but then when it was most important, they chained together a lot of rounds. What was it, like 7 rounds in a